What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade during the midday. That is your boy Joey Dang Options, and I'm Sharif. And we're gonna wait for everyone to come on over, but we already have a couple of new names that I haven't seen early. We got a B3, Joseph. All right. We got Pickle Juice. What's up, my man? We got Kenan Akron. We got Naps. I've seen that name before, but I'll call it out. It's been a minute since I called it out. We got Evan. Who else we got over here? AJ Forenza. PC. We got Blue Baron. Who else? Medical Marinara. I love that one. We got Phil Rich, Corey Pratt, Hailey Dre. Okay. Butter Biscuit Head. We got Red. Who else? I'm trying to look for new names, guys. We got John Dioka. We got the one. Obi, is that you? Full-time trader Maxi Jr. Stefan Gilbert. Shout out to my French-speaking Canadians over there. We got Beata Holtman, as well as Soul Queen 88. Theo C joining us as well. Jose Andreas. Who else? Come on. Where are the new names? We got Raquel Ja. We got Stuart. Trade Scientist, I like that one. Jay Haas as well. We got Mikhail Fulmanov. Yes, I think I got that one. V. Mark James and Nakul. We got Nakul as well. Who else? Cameron, Lumen, Wayne Gray, 907 Warrior. You from the 907, baby? Celery 2, Be Free, and Aziz Al. What's up, my man? I see you.
What's up,
Rodolfo Castillo, Infinite Q, and last but not least, Joseph, Frank Ace. I like that last one.
Frankie Ace. What's up, my guy?
How's it going?
Good, brother. Ryan, I seen what you had in the chat. Let it cool down a little bit, and then you can fire that question my way, so I'll keep an eye out for your name. But we do know that Sharif has a banger of a lesson this morning, but we're going to touch on a couple things here, guys, as the market continues to trade higher. So we like to see that, and Bitcoin as well, trading around that 104,000 price target. We love that. So, guys, let's see what we got from a top-performing sector standpoint this morning. So none other than the tech sector finally leading the way with, up about 1.6% on the session thus far. And then consumer discretionary sitting in second place, guys. They're probably being led by Tesla and Amazon. They're up about 1.5% on the session as well. And then in third place, Sharif, we got materials, all right? XLB right there, up about 1% on the session, guys. And then we're going to go from the bottom up here. Healthcare in last place, only down about 0.01% on the session. So let's see if we can go green. And then it's all green, and then we can't see anything because everything's just green around us. Utilities is up about 0.3%, guys, in second last. And then in real estate, up about 0.4 there, guys. So good luck there. Bitcoin trading higher. We love that. And Google's starting to move as well, too.
I see you, Be Fair Balance. Please don't forget to give a like. I'm going to shout you out just for being nice like that. Shout out to Be Fair Balance. All right, guys, we've been talking about the moving average, convergence, divergence, MACD for short. We've been talking about the different, setups and different tools with which you can use MACD. So let's get right down to it today. Today we're talking about MACD with support and resistance. So let's get right to it. So today's lesson explores combining, obviously, MACD signals with the levels that we all use on an intraday basis, support and resistance levels, for more confident trading decisions. Let's introduce the topic from a high level, as we always do. MACD on its own. We know MACD crossovers and MACD divergences can be helpful for identifying potential entry and exit points, but sometimes the signals can be a bit fuzzy. That's where support and resistance comes in to clear up the picture. They're key concepts in technical analysis. If you're new to trading, support and resistance, we'll get to it in a second. So support, typically, the definition here is that support represents price levels where buying pressure tends to be strong, potentially halting or reversing a downtrend. Resistance, kind of the opposite of that, right? Resistance represents price levels where selling pressure tends to be strong, potentially also halting an uptrend and moving back down. So the power, and this is kind of what we're talking about here with respect to support. Look at that. We whiffle and waffle at that 51.50, not once, not twice, not even OB thrice, but 4 times, all of which were defended, and the price made its way right back above into that 57.5. This is what we're talking about here when the price keeps bouncing off a specific level. The opposite is when it keeps rejecting off a level. We call that resistance, technical resistance. So the power of combining support and resistance with MACD can't be understated. So imagine the MACD indicating a bullish crossover. From our previous lesson, we know that that's when the MACD line crosses above the signal line, right? So imagine the MACD is indicating a bullish crossover, suggesting a price increase. But what if the price is hovering at a resistance level? So you get the positive sign for MACD, but all of a sudden you're coming into a previously established level of resistance. What do? Right, because we recall that the selling pressure tends to be strong at these resistance levels, potentially halting the uptrend. So the selling pressure at that level could dampen the upside move, whether or not you got the crossover with the MACD or not. So using MACD with support and resistance. So here's how to combine them for stronger signals. First and foremost, the bullish confirmation. What is that? A bullish MACD crossover near a support level. So a bullish MACD crossover near a support level strengthens the potential for a price bounce. This, the support level adds some confidence that the price might increase, the price increase, I should say, might have more momentum. And then there's the obvious bearish confirmation, a bearish MACD crossover near a resistance level. Again, it has to be close to or at the resistance level, strengthens the potential for a price decline. The resistance level adds some confidence that the downtrend might continue. So what I'm trying to say here is look for the crossovers, whether bullish or bearish, at key areas of support and resistance. It definitely adds credence to what you're seeing there. And this is kind of what we're looking at. All of a sudden, we come down into that lower end of the trend line. And then all of a sudden, the MACD on the bottom, the MACD line crosses above the signal line. Lo and behold, we not only bounce off the lower support line, but we also gap up, showing buyer exuberance, strength, in other words. Kind of the opposite is true over here. We get to a previously established resistance level in and around that $84 area, and then lo and behold, you get the bearish MACD crossover. Again, that is when the MACD line crosses from north to south below the signal line, and then look what happens. We drop about $4, quick as you like. So taking a look at the chart. So imagine a stock is nearing a support level and the MACD shows a bullish crossover. This combination suggests possible buying opportunity with the support level potentially acting as a launch pad for a price increase. And the thing I like about this kind of setup is you have a clear area out. So if you get the MACD crossover, bullish or bearish, at support or resistance, it behooves you to place your stop near or a little bit lower to give a bit of room, that support or resistance level. And the beautiful thing is you're close. Your entry is really close to where your exit is. So you're going to know if you're wrong awfully quick. Now, does that mean, if it breaches and you get stopped out, that it's not going to pop up again or move back down again, depending on whether you're going long or short? No. The fact of the matter is there are fake outs all the time. And that's what we're going to talk about right here. Remember, it's not risk-free. False signals are an ever-present danger in trading. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. Even with support and resistance and established support and resistance levels, there's no guarantee the price will respect the signal. Always practice good risk management. And fake outs. Fake outs are an ever-present danger, both intraday and swing, and even for long term, in certain instances. So sometimes the price might briefly break through support and resistance, like I alluded to, before reversing back on its merry way. Be cautious of chasing these breakouts or breakdowns. And beyond the basics here, guys, the strength of the levels is important here. So what do I mean by that? So support and resistance levels based on historical price action can provide more confidence in the combined signal. So in other words, if it's a really well-established area of resistance, resistance or support. And by that, I mean not the vertical axis on the chart, but the horizontal axis. How many times has that support and resistance level been challenged and ended up defending its level? So that 200 on Apple that we watched multiple times over the years get rejected finally broke out. So how many, it adds credence to the fact that that 200 level was resistance. Go back to October of 23, have a look at that 165 level. How many times did we bounce off that 165 on Apple? It lends credence to that level the more times it's challenged and the more times it gets defended. Okay, and then there's also the multiple time frames. Analyze MACD and the support and resistance combination on different time frames, your daily, your hourly, even 4 hours, to get a broader view of the trend. And just one final word here, guys, combining MACD with support and resistance adds yet another layer of confirmation to your trading decisions. By understanding how these tools work together, you can improve your ability to identify potential entry and exit points with greater confidence. I hope everybody prints up multiple forms on the table.
Let's go. If we could pull up my chart here real quick, that'd be fantastic to tell you guys what we got cooking as Bitcoin is breaking the new high a day here. But we're in some Google. We're gonna work on that position board here, guys. Sorry, Sharif's will be displayed, but we got to get some things sorted out on my end, and we will get that done ASAP because I know a lot of people have been asking. So yeah, we're gonna work on that, guys. But here we are entering Google. The rest of the market buzzing. Let's see what we can get going. Yeah, let's go. Google is right. We're just creeping in on those all-time highs, my guy Katina, man. And I know he loves Google as much as I do. So let's see what we got from a percentage metric. How far off those all-time highs we actually are. Google, and here we are sitting about just under 3%, 2.7% off those all-time highs. Google's starting to trade extremely well here, folks. Let's zoom in on the intraday time frame, and we've punched through VWAP, continuing to trade higher, putting some selling pressure in these candles. That's okay. Let's see if we can go. Let's see if we can go and test these highs. What are you in at?
What's going on over there, Katina, man?
He's in $2 in the money. What's your average? Okay, $2 in the money. We can do the math there. 94, 194. There he is. Katina, man, long 194 there on Google. Good work as always. It's one of those Fridays, Sharif, where it just seems like everything wants to go up. But I'm curious to why the Qs are slightly laggard. So that means I have to take a gander at some of these other large mega cap names, such as Meta and Amazon, to see what they are up to. Because Tesla, Google is trading higher. And then Apple, as Sharif would like to say, kind of whiffle and waffle in there, not doing too much, trading sideways and slightly pulling back in now towards the volume-weighted average price. So let's see how much higher we can push here on Google. I'm going to trim a little bit more here for the people, and we'll see what we got going on. I really like this breakout here on Bitcoin, Sharif.
That's a great, what the? Yeah. I didn't even notice. I'm sitting there trying to prepare all my charts. This guy's taking a symphony of prints over here.
Yeah, here we go.
Great trades, Joseph.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's load up the small cap gapper charts. Guys, sadly, I don't have too much for you today. It is a light day in small cap gapper world. And the one, my favorite, the one that was setting up well, GSIT, I should say, broke down below VWAP. So under my system, it's no longer tradable. It's going to have to get up above that 440 area where the white non-dotted line is at that 440 area. That's a VWAP. I don't trade these small cap gappers as a long south of VWAP, so it's going to have to reclaim that level. BDMD, though, is doing things over here, and it's up 80%. It's a bit spready, and it's kind of, well, look, Tara, anytime she hears a spready stock, she's like, yeah.
Yeah, the TSM, though, gave me a hard time today.
TSM?
Yeah, TSM.
You want me to talk to it for you?
No.
Okay. BDMD, we're going to load this one up on the side chart over here because this one just bounced off VWAP. I got to tell you, that's a mistrade on my part here because it was well extended away from VWAP, and I said to myself, if this comes into an area of technical support, I like it. This one was a multiple halter. Here it is. It's back at VWAP again. It's a 12-penny spread. Ew. On a $9 name, that ain't it. But we're going to give this one the old community college try, and we're going to wait below 9, okay? VWAP's a little bit above 9, but we're going to wait below 9 here at these levels. So where are we long? We're long 40 actually on the dot, Joseph. Mm-hmm. So let's go up here and start layering some orders. If this one catches a bid, I want to be able to take some out over here. This is a multiple halter, so it does have an opportunity to kind of get going. We'll have to wait and see, though. Is it able to hold VWAP? If not, is it able to hold 9? We're going to have to give this one a try over here. So we're in it long right now, BDMD, and it behooves me to give you the details on it. So Baird Medical Investment, $191 million market cap, having traded about 3.8 million shares on the day in the float, is a lofty, and I say that obviously facetiously, 1.539 million share float. Let's find out what the short float is. Nothing here, according to trade ideas, or not stated. So we'll have to fly blind with respect to short float there. It's up a hefty amount on the day, up about 70%. It's going to have to hold VWAP, otherwise I want no smoke. So, or 9, excuse me. Otherwise I want no smoke, because they're too close together. Also watching FU. Oh, I just lost it. It just lost 9, so I just got stopped out there as it broke down below 9. There might be an interesting level here at this 8.5 to 8. Now I'm not going to take a dip trade because we're already 0 for 1 on it. But if it ends up holding here and then curls back up and it's a quick break of the level, I'll get back in. But again, very light in terms of small cap gappers that are making moves on the day. I'm seeing MVIS up at the high of the day at 17 1/5, but it's a dollar name and being lightly traded. But this is the one I was talking about, FUTU. Futu, Chinese names, strong today. JD.com, for example, a big, was a big, where the hell is it on my chart over here? There it is, up to 9.8%. You have other Chinese names that are running as well. It's a bit of a spready ticker, FUTU. It's up 9.55, so we'll give this one a look. If this one wants to continue to run, definitely will get into that. It's a more expensive name, though, around 88 bucks. It had an excellent bounce off the volume weighted average price, very quick bounce off VWAP, and now what it seems to be doing is putting a 2-candle pullback over here. Let's see if it can hold the 10 exponential, and then this candle that I'm currently on makes a new high at around 88 1/4. If it can do that, I'll get into it, even though it's expensive. Adara, what's up over there?
Kind of unsurprisingly, we have more updates here on the TikTok situation. So basically, Donald Trump is kind of teasing his decision on TikTok. He said that he's not going to say what it is yet, but he has one, and it will be coming in the, quote, not too distant future. So Trump being very kind of intentionally vague about his TikTok decision, but he did call the Supreme Court's ruling, quote, expected. However, we also have here comments from Frank McCourt. He's a billionaire that is basically leading this group called Project Liberty. They're trying to buy TikTok, and he said that apparently his Project Liberty group does meet the criteria laid out by the Supreme Court as to what's required for TikTok to be sold. So keep an eye on a potential bid here from Project Liberty for TikTok, and keep an eye on these social media stocks like META, which is up right here, and SNAP, guys. Back to you.
Very much for that, Daryl.
Yeah, much. I always want to hear something about TikTok. All right, let's see this. Here, Sharif, all right?
What do we got?
All right, is Bitcoin going to break the all-time highs today? Whew. You ready?
What does it say?
Yeah, all right. So,
Should
yeah,
I just throw this
guys.
out? I'll throw this
So,
out.
hey, I'm not going to reveal what it said. I'm not going to reveal what it said, but here we go, guys. Ryan Hamblin, Joe W., here's a question. Last night, the 0.27 300 call contracts on Apple were approximately worth 85 cents. When the market closed, all of a sudden, Ash showed up at $2.50. Why? That's a great question. And to be honest with you, I can't give you an answer on that, but all I can do is just pull up the chain, because what I did recognize this morning is that we gapped up. So, but why it would close at that? Maybe it's just a quote issue, because I know sometimes they're not the exact quotes when the market closed. But let's pull it up here, whatever the 7th month is here, and see what we got going on for those. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. AAPL, and see what we got going on, because I want to see the same contracts that you are looking at, the 300s. Oh, okay. 21 days. No, we got to go back here. Sorry for the delays, folks. Okay, yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah, I can't give you a straight up answer on that. I don't know why it would fluctuate like that. I'd have to ask maybe Wayner in the back or something in that to see why something like that would happen. So unfortunately, I can't give you a straight up answer. But here we got, Joe, I told you it was 125K next week. Remember yesterday I was saying allowed Mara undervalued and see where good call, Jaspreet. Good call. You mentioned, he was talking about Mara, and he was asking me about Mara as well, too. He's like, okay, well, why is Mara moving, et cetera, and Bitcoin's moving, everybody else is moving, but again, I don't know why. The SPY gap up gain on Tuesday after long weekend. I'm not too sure what you're asking there, Edwin P. But anyways, guys, let's get back and retype that, Edwin, and see if there's an actual question in there. But let's take a look at Google here. It's continuing to hold on to these shares. Not too much left. Pieced out, nice break of resistance here. Let me zoom out. But that nice V-shaped pattern, consolidation, dip, and then break of the resistance here, continuing to crawl higher is Google. So we'll look to continue to trim. But I think one of the catch of the day here, guys, and I'm going to talk about it quite a bit on the session. So is this IBIT play absolute monstrous? Look at this consolidation phase and then that breakthrough with that volume. Look at that volume step in there, Sharif. That is picture perfect there, my guy. At the break of the high day as well, too, folks. But let's take a look at spot and see why I was like, okay, it's slightly bullish. So we had our trend lines drawn out the other day on this, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to push through these levels with momentum in order to continue higher. But sure enough, the session opens up above those, so I'm like, okay, that's really positive. That can give you some more conviction within the setup. But here we are. I'm like, okay, as soon as we break this 102 level, then I'm like, we're going to break out, and I think, honestly, if we continue with this momentum, I do believe that today we can possibly go and test those all-time highs, especially when I mentioned time and time again that volatility skew, and you can put in those 10K sessions. So I definitely think we can head towards that. What is the low of this one? 100,000, sitting at 104. So I think we can push another 4K higher on the session.
Hey, I like it. Well, I don't mind pushing 4K on the session. That'll be good. That'll be good for the long term. Obviously, I complain when it's too high because I haven't bought enough.
Yeah.
And then I complain when it's too low because it counts down. So yeah, I'm a complainer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just joking. I actually don't complain.
Some cheese. You want some cheese with that?
Wow! I just got
wow! No, without love, man.
All right, guys. Here we go. We're taking some profits back here on BDMD. About 50 pennies in the money on this monster. We can get higher here. Can we get much higher? Here we go, baby. Boom! Right up there. This is squeezing. Let's go into the 60s. I'm waiting in the 60s on this one. Now I'm going to layer my orders. Okay, now I need to calm down so that I can actually think.
So we can breathe.
Yeah, I know, right? So I can stop complaining. Right, so we've taken multiple outs on this one already. It's reclaimed VWAP, it's reclaimed 9. It's got propensity to really squeeze. We've seen that already on the multiple halts on the way up. Let's see if we can get printed in the 50s. I'm waiting in the 50s, showing me 49s now. Okay, here we go. Waiting for that pop. I hope it doesn't drop though. Waiting at 55s, and then I'm waiting at 69. So up 73%. We were able to extract some profitability back on this one, but still negative on it because of the first attempt at this trade. So let's see what it does. I want to take out that 55 so I can rest a little bit easier. I also extracted some profits here on Futu, but it's coming back down. I was able to take out a couple of beak wetters. Let's see if this one can hold up above 87.50. I got in at 88.17. I just took out some there in the 30s. It's going to have to continue up, obviously, in this consolidative state. It's putting in kind of higher lows with this kind of sideways chop right now. Still holding the 10 exponential moving average. Let's see if this one gives me a little bit more to be happy about over here. Back to BDMD. Nope, can't break the $0.50 quite yet. So it is a $0.50 rejection. And as I look at the 5-minute candle right now on BDMD, let's do a little TA over here. BDMD, this current the current 5-minute candle looks to be lower than its predecessor. So here's this predecessor right here, the 11:15 candle. The high there is 967. The current high is 964. So technically, we just popped up 68s now. I should have got the fill. I probably got both fills. No, we didn't get the 69 fill. We got the 55 fill. Are we going to get the 69 fill, Joseph? Soon? Boom! There it is, baby. Yeah, get it, Katina Man. Steve. All right, we're over $1 in the money now, Katina Man, so we're going to have to hit the dollar club over here, baby. We're going to wait at 10:50. Joseph's dancing. This is a sick day already,
I love that song. I need that song, the actual full version of this song.
I know you've said that to me before, and I'm like, why?
Because I like
Fabian
it,
made it.
Fabian made it.
We might halt here at 13s. Looks like it might halt here, upside halt at 13s. I'm waiting at 15s. I won't be taking it out here. False halt at 13s. 13s. We drop back down, and boom, false halt. We pop up again. How many shares do I have left on this, bro?
Dang, look at that.
I got one left, one out left. So we're gonna have to pack our patience. Here's what I'm gonna do, Joseph. I'm gonna wait at 1069 because that would be a new high of the day, and I would like to take it at 1069. So here we go. We're gonna throw it out, 1069er. Let's see if this one can pop off into that 1069er. What are you looking at over there?
Hey, yeah, man, we're just piecing it out here on some Google. So continuing to climb higher is this market. I love these Fridays when everything is just continuing to trade higher and higher and higher. Those are always the best ones. But again, like, hopefully we don't get that. Sharif and I were talking. Hopefully we don't get that sugar crash there, where everybody's excited in the early hours of the session, and then it's like boom, everybody is depleted. So I guess the fun and the exhilaration of all of this can come to a halt very quick. So, Joe, would you consider put debit spreads at a really low delta or too volatile? Put debit spreads at a really low delta or volatile? No, when I'm creating debit spreads, I'll usually go at the money. And if you're going low delta, then they're not going to be that volatile, right? Because the contract fluctuation isn't that high. So we'll trade for food. Hopefully that answers your question. Because as you go down the options chain, so I'm looking here at Apple. So let me take a look at the money. And so the lower the delta goes, right? So sorry, the more so the lower you go in delta, the less the contract fluctuates, right? So keep that in mind. So if you're going lower delta, say you want to look at the 190 on Apple or something along those lines, that contract only fluctuates $11 for every $1 move in the underlying asset. So hopefully that helps you there. On Tesla, no, again, regardless of the underlying asset, if I'm creating a debit spread, it's usually at the money or slightly out the money, but not too much. So you can kind of get that gamma, that increase in gamma and that increase in delta if you're just slightly out the money as the contracts continue to move in your favor. But yeah, I wouldn't go too low a delta on put spreads because now you're looking to get more out of the money. So yeah. Again, if you want to, just understand that, like, hey, if you don't get that move that you're looking for, because the further you go down in delta on the put side, the more out the money you are, right? So, I mean, if you're looking for that big return, like my guy Darius Golden, then yeah, by all means do that. But I like to stick to at the money or just slightly at the money. So you still kind of get that good delta on that front, guys. All right, so yeah, let's continue to look at what we got going on Google. Hopefully that answered your question there. Will trade for food? Okay, yeah, I'm glad that you got something from that. I appreciate that very much. And I also love the questions as well, too, because it also makes me think a little bit more and then be like, oh, okay. Just like we had that question yesterday. An individual asked me, he's like, Joe, what are the chances of the Qs closing above 420, right? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's a great question because we have the options chain and you can use your deltas as a percentage metric, as I mentioned before, and it priced in that, like, okay, there's an 86% chance that this contract is going to expire out the money, so therefore you got in a 14% chance that it's going to close above 420. So yeah, that's a good look there on that one. Here we go, guys. Still continuing to trade higher is Google. We love this. Let's take a look at Tesla. I haven't talked about it too much today, guys. Let's see how far. I mentioned this the other day. So what were we at yesterday? What was the low of yesterday there, Sharif? Around 409, we'll call it there on Tesla. Now trading at 433 on yesterday. So again, and I'm like, yo, dude, we're not too far off the all-time highs on this thing. It's a matter of a couple sessions that this thing can go and continue to trade past this all-time high on Tesla. You know that we're bullish on this thing for the foreseeable future, especially because of what Elon's got going on. Later this year, we're supposed to get a fleet of taxis starting to operate wherever you may be in Texas or something along those lines. So yeah, looking forward to that. And then he's also working alongside Donald Trump. So bullish on Tesla. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I want to mention something over here. Great question by the basket case. Sharif, BDMD's halted. How the hell do you get out when something is halted? How do you send orders? So it's going to be platform specific. Here's why I say that. On my personal platform, I can send out orders using limit and market orders that execute once the stock is unhalted. However, on this specific platform, which is used by the world's best prop firm, baby, Real Trading, it's called P Pro 8. The only way to send out an order
while the stock is halted is you need to use an order called the market on open order, MOO. Okay? If you have that on your system, you should be able to set it up. I know that I've got to set it up specifically with keys over here. Every type of order requires different key entries. So market on open order specifically for people using P-Pro 8. However, the reason I said that it was platform specific is, again, some brokerages, some platforms allow you to send different orders and then they execute it on your behalf. And market on open order is very similar to what, institutional as well as retail traders use on the open. So for example, if you want to accumulate a position, okay, so I'll talk about this in a second. BDMD's unhalted right now. I'm waiting at 1069er. There it is. We're done the trade. Boom. All right, happy with BDMD. Appreciate you, Adara. It keeps going though, guys. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this one because there might be more. Here goes 11. 11's going to break. What is the high of the day?
You got a face slapper on there.
That wasn't bad, huh? Not bad. I wish I had more size, but it's okay. 1104, Joseph, HOD right now, fighting with that $11 area. It is now a triple-digit winner, up over 100%, or was, when I said it like 1 second ago. Zigging and zagging. So the market on open order is essentially if you're an institutional buyer and you want to accumulate a position in NVIDIA, and it's a huge position, well, what times of the day is there most liquidity? I'll submit to you, it's likely, it's not a hard and fast rule, but it's likely the open and the close. So you can put a market on open order to accumulate your position when there's the most liquidity in the beginning. And you can use a market on close order, a mock, we call it here on the floor, to accumulate a position into the close. Again, the reason you want to do that is because it provides you the most amount of liquidity. So compare your buy orders or you sell orders with others on the other side of that transaction. So MOO, for people on P-Pro 8 and maybe others. Otherwise, check with your broker to see exactly what they allow you to do. We're still involved in FUTU. FUTU up 9 1/3, about 9.5%. It's holding this 8 level. It's also holding the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart. I gotta tell you though, I think the best trade, obviously the best trade was right at 9:30 if you had a market on open order. But the second best trade, I should say, was this obviously right here, right at 10:30, that VWAP dip and pop, and you got multiple, you got multiple dollars off that. Now it's kind of doing its best holding dance here with a 10 exponential. So if this breaches a 10 exponential, I'm out. Breach it on a closing basis. I've already put my out though, whether it breaches a 10 or not, below 87.5. So it's got to hold 87.5, but if I see it close below the 10 exponential prior to that, I'm gonzino. We'll keep an eye out on this one, Joseph. But I know you know about this.
What's that?
I know you know about this.
What's this?
This was yesterday.
Oh,
your friend Elon.
Oh, okay.
Your friend Elon did it again. Well, he kind of did it. The Starship blew up, but at least a booster came back. Dude, I will never get bored of watching this. Watch as the 13 Raptor engines just light up there. And then 3 will actually guide it. So 13 initially, and you can. I just want to show you guys. Look at the bottom left
look at
over
the
here.
speed. Yeah, look at that speed.
This right here, that's the amount of engines that are actually lit. So so the 10 in the second circle, those will be on for a second, then watch. They shut off, and then the 3 actually just guided down. Dude,
he's cashing it again.
Yes, he caught it again yesterday, man. Yeah. Obi likes it, so then, I'm good with it. It was a sick catch, but Starship blew up, but it's okay. It was unmanned. Growing pains, baby. You know what gets me pumped, though? When the entire SpaceX team just starts freaking out and cheering when it lands, bro. So much hard work goes into that.
Bet.
Gives me goosebumps straight up.
But I remember watching a little bit on Elon, too. He's like, man, we only got like 1 or 2 launches left, and then we're just going to run out of funding. Or did you hear him say that? No, this was when he first started. When he first started, he's like, He's like, they was like launch 1, 2, 3. It's like it didn't work out. He's like, we got like 1 or 2 left, and then that's it. We won't be able to fund this anymore. But there he is now, catching rockets out of thin air, guys. So there it is.
Rapid disassembly says Bears versus Bulls. Yeah, I've heard that one used before, bro.
Rapid disassembly.
I love that.
Yeah, good
Shout
stuff.
out to the world's greatest mod.
We got a good question here as well too. Live for powder. Can you talk about decay when using options on a leverage ETF like TQQQs? I'm going to leave it at this. You're trading a derivative of a derivative, which it can be, I've never done that before, but I've been advised like, hey, that's not the best idea, because think about it, if you're trading TQQs, let's see, I keep forgetting, it's like 3x or something along those lines, right? So TQQs being 3x, and then you're trading a leveraged product in options is just, I wouldn't even understand how to kind of articulate that and be like, what do I do here? Because it fluctuates so much. I'm looking at the options chain here. It doesn't seem too crazy, but again, I don't suggest trading a derivative of a derivative, if that makes sense. Yeah, but that's what it is, right? TQs being a derivative of that, a leveraged one, and then now you're going to try to trade an additional leverage product with a leverage product. Yeah, I don't know about that one. So experiment with it if you want. Just make sure you have proper risk management in place and take it from there. If it works out for you and you can build a system around it, then by all means continue to milk that cow, I guess. If it's working, continue to keep pushing it until it doesn't otherwise. So, but just make sure you have risk measures in place, as always, and as obvious and as always. All right. So, okay, guys, here we are with Tesla continuing to trade higher. 433 on the session, putting in that high a day. Let's see if we can break through. With the way the market's moving right now, I think we can continue to crawl higher. Is it going to go to 440 today? I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. It'd be a little bit of a push here, considering we haven't really looked back, but really nice, healthy pullbacks here, Shreve. Look at the volume by time profile on the pullbacks here on Tesla.
Great call.
So yeah, exactly. So beautiful stuff here. Even though this was engulfing, but look at the volume. That's not supporting this move, and then it continues to dwindle here as we pull back into the volume weighted average price, and then sure enough we reject it, and then look at the volume by time profile once again continues to appreciate as we go higher. So that is picture perfect stuff. That is something that you want to look at from time and time, well, all the time. Joe, I'm conflicted on BTC's real use. This has given me a bearish bias and cost me USDs. As a new trader, I've decided to eliminate my bias and just follow the price action up. IBIT calls. Fugazi bear. Perfect. I mean, it's so hard. If you're looking to short stuff, man, you don't want to short such a powerful underlying asset like Bitcoin, especially when you have like really big names starting to just accumulate this stuff and hoard it at astronomical levels. So that there's so many other garbage companies that you can look to short. Good point on eliminating your bias, because it's not going to help. Obi mentions it all the time. He's like, he doesn't care about the company or what the price is. He just wants to follow price action. And I advise you to do the same. But we're going to send off to Adara.
We're going to take a look here at some of these names on the S&P 500 underperforming because we have so much strength. I thought, what names are trading lower by more than like 2.5%? There are three. So we're going to talk about all of them here. Two of them are earnings plays. One is JB Hunt, JBHT, down about 7%. We went over these earnings at the market recap show. If you caught Sean and I there, we did have a miss on EPS, but inline sales. Next up here, STT. This is one of the banks, State Street. Excuse me. They reported this morning, beating year in EPS and on sales, but regardless, trading lower on the day, down about 3.7%. Last but not least, APA Corp. Fun fact, they were actually one of the worst performers on the S&P 500 last year. They were the worst in their sector, but it is worth noting here, they terminated some Great British Pound credit facilities as of yesterday. Well, they announced it yesterday. This actually happened on Wednesday, the 15th. Regardless, at low of days here for APA. These are the three weakest tickers by far on the S&P 500 today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and participate in our polls. Pick out what ticker you want to see in the rundown. But for now, to the Bash Brothers.
Appreciate you there, Adara. I just want to cover a super chat quick.
Yes, cover the super chat. Super chat more important. Yeah, for sure.
Rohit, $5 super chat. Thank you, my man, dropping the cash in the chat. Hi, Sharif. How was your experience with Bollinger Bands compared to MACD plus RSI? So that's a great question. So Bollinger Bands and MACD and RSI, look, you could kind of say, you know, one gauges overbought. Well, they both gauge overbought and oversold, because when you're at the top end of the Bollinger Band, you could be oversold. Bottom end, you're overbought. I personally have never used Bollinger Bands on a consistent enough basis to give you an honest opinion. I just haven't. I know how they work. I know the formula. I know how to implement them. just never use them enough to give you an honest opinion. I use RSI all the time, not for intraday trading, but for swings and entries into my long-term account. I use MACD less than I use RSI. And to be honest with you, I use MACD because I had to teach MACD, okay? So I can't give you an honest opinion, Rohit, about Bollinger Bands, but we do have an excellent lesson, a week of lessons, actually 5 lessons, all on Bollinger Bands and how to execute them. But if you're asking from my personal experience, sadly, I can't give you anything like that. But stay tuned with us every day. We always got lessons. And just for you, my man, next week, we will be doing Bollinger Bands. How about that? Dang. Just because Rohit asked. Dang. He asked, he gets, Joseph.
Hey. The people ask.
They get.
Thy people get.
Yeah. And Joseph, I was telling the Katina man about this one. The Katina man mentioned SMR before they got off the air there, and SMR is on the dang way up. The closing print yesterday, $20.30, and now we're knocking the door of $23.30. So you're $3 in the clear on this one if you're long from yesterday's closing print. So 23.20. So here's how I see it. We zigged, right? That opening print at 9:30, it can be a volatile time as people are executing, again, market on open orders, getting their positions. But then we got our footing under us. I want to say around 10 o'clock. Then the higher lows and the higher highs really started coming in, and a lot more clearly at around 10 o'clock. So this candle right here, the last really decisive red candle at that 10 a.m. Yeah, 10 a.m. And now we just took out the high of the day. 23. Shout out to Jordan, is the high of the day. I personally see this as an initial bull flag. There's your big boy bull flag from 10.25. You get that consolidation period between 11 o'clock and this breakout level over here, 11.35. And then we take out 22.90, which was resistance. We take out 23, which is psychological resistance. And now we're knocking on the door of the $0.25. Let's zoom out to figure out exactly where we could counter resistance, and what better level to look at than that $24 area, Katina man, which you're involved in. You know about that $24 area on SMR. So 23.23 HOD. If we continue moving up in the way that we've been doing, I like this as a beak wetter, the level that is $24 as a beak wetter on SMR. It could also be an interesting area for the shorts to get involved, right? We move up maybe 23.75, 23 4/5, whatever it is. We get into that $24 area. I'd personally be looking for a mean reversion short. And it's a double top, by the way, at that $24 area. January 6th and January 7th, that $24 area could not be cleared. So SMR on the way up, baby. A little bit, yeah, pulling back a little bit right now. Is this an entry point here? I like it at 22.75 possibly, but there's multiple levels here, guys. Okay, so there's 23 being obviously the psychological support / resistance, and then you have 22.90. For whatever reason, it kept rejecting 22.90 as opposed to 23 on the way up. So there's that level, and then you have the 10 exponential at 22.70. Split the difference, maybe put a couple of different orders, maybe a one at 90 and then one in the low 80s. We'll have to keep an eye out on this one. I could absolutely be persuaded to trade SMR. It's up 13.5% and looking for more, quite frankly. 13.5%. I mentioned that already. What are you looking at?
Good look there. Got another question, man. The questions are flowing in today. So this one's from Nakul Patrick. Sorry if I butchered your name. Joe, I have sold a 360 call, a 360 MSTR call expiring January 24th. What shall I do? I'm deep in the money. Okay. First of all, let's go back a couple steps, okay? When you are writing options, do not even think about opening that position without putting a stop loss in, okay? I mentioned before in the credit spread trades, when I am constructing credit spreads, whatever premium I receive, my max loss is going to be double that, okay? So if you receive $100, my max loss is going to be $100, okay? Even though well, that's not double, Joe. Okay, well, what you have to do when you are writing, when you are setting up that stop loss is that, so you receive $1, you need to put that stop loss to $2. That means you have to give back that credit and then additional $100, okay? But do not, please, again, Nakul, you're gonna have to cut that position, or you're gonna be assigned short MSTR at 360. So before, if you don't want to risk early assignment, you don't want to get margin called or anything along those lines, unfortunately, man, and I hate to say this, you're gonna have to eat that loss. You're gonna have to take it on your chin, man. That's a hefty loss, dude. And if you only like even at one contract, and
we've all been there, bro.
Yeah, exactly. We've all been there. One contract, and you're $30 in the money on a short call, dude. Well, come on, man. I have faith in you. You're gonna do the right thing. Assess your situation. But it's not something pretty. The best thing you can do from this is just learn from it and continue to move forward, all right? So next time you go to write an option, make sure you either construct a spread, all right, so you won't take that much of a beating, or you put in a stop loss, okay? So I'm assuming if you're shorting that naked, you have the capital within the account, but even so, you don't want a $36,000 position put on, right? So you again, put those stop losses in, please and thank you, especially when writing options. I've been there, took hefty losses writing options, trying to hedge positions, and you need to have those stop losses, otherwise you will not be having a good time whatsoever. So hopefully that helped you. The situation isn't pretty, not gonna beat around the bush, not something I would necessarily want to be in. So you gotta cut that as soon as possible, accept that loss, especially with Bitcoin breaking out. And here we are, if we can pull up my chart here as well too, on MSTR, continuing to climb higher here, guys. Yeah, so again, I'm breaking up, gapping out, breaking up, through key resistance levels. Get out of Dodge, okay? Yeah.
It's got puts?
He sold calls.
Sold calls.
Yeah, 360. So essentially, he's short at 360. We're now trading at 392, right? And you're trading a leverage product. So, dude, that's not a pretty loss. Yeah, that is not a pretty loss. So, guys, please just put those stops in place. If you're running covered calls, you can roll it out as long as the strike price is over your cost average and win-win. I run weekly covered calls for easy money. It depends if he's covered, man. Thanks for well, he should be. I guess he's cash secured, but thanks for the input. I will take the loss for now. Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Can he roll it? Is that an option?
Like he can roll it, but again,
but it's breaking out. The technicals don't support it.
I wouldn't. Why do you want to stay short MSTR at this point, right? Like you have Bitcoin breaking out. Like sure, you can kind of go like that, but now essentially you're doubling down. Right, so you don't want to do that, especially from just a basic technical standpoint. You have Bitcoin breaking out, and now you have MSTR breaking through key resistances.
And Donald with that executive order?
With the executive order, dude. So we don't know
what that is, though.
Yeah, okay. So tell him what it is. So he's you would know a little bit more about it.
Well, I do my notes on it every morning.
There you go. So here
we're going to talk. It's a report. We'll report what we know.
What we can
what's been reported. So this was vis-a-vis Benzinga crypto this morning, okay? Apparently, Donald Trump wants to use the executive order declaring cryptocurrency a national priority. Nothing confirmed, guys. This is just all speculative until it comes from the orange man himself. The order would encourage government agencies to engage with the growing cryptocurrency industry. He wants federal agencies to be directed to reassess policies on digital assets. For example, outstanding litigation that's related to crypto. He wants either resolved or withdrawn. He wants the establishment, again, reportedly, of a national Bitcoin reserve, which aligns with the campaign promise that he made to support the cryptocurrency enthusiasts. And again, I really want to stress this. The executive order is not finalized and may undergo marked changes before becoming public. This is being reported by Bloomberg. I was able to get this through Benzinga this morning vis-a-vis their crypto channel. So again, really want to stress this, that none of this is confirmed, but that's usually how real life works. Real life is usually thin evidence-wise, and then you get the deal. Yeah, I mean, it really is, though,
yeah, for
right?
Sure. Yeah, for sure. What is it, Butter Biscuit Head? Yeah, he asked me, Joe, can you tell a story of a time you took a loss trying to hedge positions? Yeah, absolutely, and it happened this summer. All right, so I had a bull put spread on Tesla, and I decided, I thought we were going to trade in this range, and I wanted to kind of just double up the profit for the week. So what do? I construct a bear call spread. What do I also not do is put in a stop loss. Tesla then squeezes on me, and I'm like, okay, this is not good. Tesla squeezed. So what I did was I covered my short call, okay? So that left me with an out-the-money long call. I'm like, okay, if it's gonna squeeze like this, maybe I can catch some of that that squeeze action and then recover some of the losses from that from my long call. Okay. Sure enough, weekly expiration, I only had a couple days left. I hold on to the long call too long. All right. I just held it too long. Theta chewed the value of the contract, and then it resulted in a 4-figure loss. Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. And it just
That's
like,
okay.
it's like that.
That's
No,
okay.
but it's part of it.
It's what it is.
It is what it is. And the boys were there. I was outside. I actually had to go smoke a cigarette just to
You don't even smoke.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, I need to relax and just reassess the situation. And from those types of experiences, you learn the most from. So yeah, that's my story of taking a 4-figure loss on not properly putting in stops on short calls.
Easy Media, Joe, respect, brother, for the wisdom. $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, and that's obviously classy statement or compliment right there. Shout out to Easy Media. All right, guys, I've weaseled into SMR at 22.94. I've wet the beak there at 7s. I'm waiting now at 15s. It's showing me 10s on the ask. Let's layer some more orders over here. I'm going to look to take out the high of the day, 23 HO dang D on SMR. So we'll look to do some damage on this one, hopefully, if we can take out that 15. It was a good move back into that level that I talked about, that 22.90. For whatever reason, it wasn't 23, it was 22.90 or so, it seems to me, that we were whiffling and waffling at as our level of resistance. Showing me 11s now on the ask, but encountering some resistance at this level. Pack our patience. Anything below 70, I'm gone. So we're in 94. Anything below 70, I'm gone. BDMD, I really feel bad that I didn't look at this back at the $10 area. So we got out 1069. It worked all the way up to 1186. It drops back down right into 10, and 10 there was VWAP. So you had the double support, and he gave you plenty, man. It gave you $1.25 off that 10 dip and pop. So it comes back into 10, and then boom, we get that 11 1/4 move on BDMD. I missed that one though, but here's the deal. It doesn't mean that it bounced off 10 once, it's gonna bounce off the second time. Now it's putting in lower lows with a flat bottom at 10. So this could end up being, you know what I'm gonna hit right now, flat bottom break with that $10 giving way. We're gonna have to wait and see. It's setting up still as a long because it's trading above VWAP, but the lower highs are kind of trying to foreshadow maybe a move back down. So we'll keep tabs on that. Still waiting for a next print here on SMR. We're going unprinted above 23.15. Still waiting on that. Futu, I've been waiting on Futu. Wow, this is a consolidative dance if I've ever seen one here on FUTU. I don't want to build a position at the low end of the range here because it is more expensive. And, you know, these Chinese stocks have a way of giving up the ghost midday in a way that I'm all too familiar with. They gap up. If you've ever traded these Chinese ADRs, you know exactly what I'm alluding to here. They gap up in the pre-market. They're usually quite active when they have a catalyst in the pre-market, typically because they're being traded by Asian traders or people in that time zone. On obviously North American market. So they get active in that way, and then the North American traders come in and they don't like these Chinese stocks. So down they go. And I've seen that multiple times where we have a clear and decided gap in the pre, and then we end up filling the gap. We're actually going negative sometimes on the day. So I'm acutely aware of that with FUTU. And I hope to be able to defend against that by placing my stop strategically. We'll have to wait and see. I'm looking for the range to hold. Back to BDMD. What is this one doing? Okay, so it's putting a bit of a compression pattern now. So if we base that 10 as an area trough and we base this 11 1/5 as an area crest, well, we have lower highs, but we also have higher lows. So we'll have to wait to see how this resolves. I don't want to jump into it too quickly over here. BDMD is what I'm talking about, Joseph, up at 97%. Let's see what people feed the thinker, BMRA. I haven't had a look at that one. Let me load it up. I don't know anything about this. BMRA, what do we got over here? This is Biomerica. Okay, so this is awfully consolidative. I have an alert out for this one. So this one was in play yesterday. And it's obviously doing nothing today. Look at yesterday's price action and then look at the consolidative nature of today. Look, it's not giving up the entire ghost, moving back down to 35 pennies. That in and of itself could be an indicator. However, as an intraday trade, this is not a glowing endorsement. It's just got no directional trend. It's down 7% or almost 7% on the day. Not for me, but thanks for pointing that out. Who else we got over here? Jay Lee, Joe, Sharif. In my humble opinion, we should be shorting into the afternoon since Trump on Monday, I think he means, and will create a fiasco with executive orders, likely send the markets into a tailspin. Thoughts? Look, I don't know if he sends the market into a tailspin, but I know that traders who traded through the first Donald Trump administration say that it was volatility central.
Volatility central.
He gets up on the can, 4 a.m. He gets the phone. He goes into X or True Social or wherever he's going, fires off a tweet, moves an entire industry.
Chose violence.
Chose violence.
Yeah. Chose violence that morning, yeah.
And that's not such a bad thing because we need volatility as day traders.
Yeah, we need the volatility, guys. Speaking of volatility, Sharif, you know what we got to look at when we're speaking at it now?
What we got to do?
The king of volatility.
Okay.
The VIX, baby. Yeah, let's see what we got going on the VIX here today, guys. I'm assuming it's down, and there it is. Before it popped up, they're down. There's that inverse correlation, guys, between the VIX and the overall market. So as we continue to kind of pull back here, you can see this little increase in the VIX, but that trending higher, you see that decrease in the VIX. So there you go on that there, guys. Here is the VIX. Nice stuff there, nice looking. Let's zoom out from a daily perspective and see what we got going on. So yeah, good stuff here. So Sharif, I'm curious to see with the market. So I'm going to pull up the market shortly after, but I gave you a point and you're like, yeah, that's kind of what Raider does. He's like more of a quant type style. And when I heard Tom Lee say this multiple times. So when the VIX spikes over 60% in a session, in the next coming month or two, the market makes all-time highs. Okay, so
really,
yeah, interesting stuff. So on the 18th of December is when we had that FOMC, that hawkish cut. But let's take a look at the Qs now and see how far we are off of those all-time highs, because we're getting close to that month since that happened, that report, or the cut, sorry. And here we are, still about 3% off those all-time highs, continuing to trade pretty decent, though. So, I mean, a couple months after, we're looking like we're headed on that path towards the all-time highs. Let's see if we can break through some of these key resistance levels here. As you can see, we're forming those lower highs. I wouldn't say it's overly alarming, but if you can punch through those with momentum, as I mentioned, kind of with the Bitcoin case, then I think we can start to creep in. And especially considering that we're rolling into earnings seasons as well, too, Sharif, is that anything can happen. You get a solid report from Meta, Google, or any of the Mag 7 that just continue to rise and they push off of that report. I think it's going to drag the Qs up with it, and then with that you get new price discovery and people continuing to buy those strong stocks, those strong forward guidances, and that will bring the Qs to all-time high.
We got a super chat, Joseph. Shout out to Marty, dropping cash in the chat, $10. Reads as follows. Feel your pain on Tesla squeeze. I got caught short and wiped out my day trading account. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. Quit trading for 6 months. We all get caught out trying to hold on to a bad thesis. Punch out when it's time. It sounds like you really did learn. I don't want to say your lesson. That's not, I don't think that it comes off well, but I think you really got the gist of it right there. And just cutting your losses, it sucks, bro. It sucks to cut your losses because then you actually have to realize the loss, and then there's no chance for it to recover unless you punch back in. But I really think that, you know, if you can see the bigger picture and know that you're preventing even more losses, it makes it easier to punch out. Easier said than done. I know I'm just saying words right now, but this is something that I've lived through with my own money, right? I've mentioned multiple bad trades that I've had. Mara, Plug Power. What else? I've had other trades. Li Auto, but I broke even on that one. Yeah, Li Auto was not a good one.
Man.
Nat Gas, I lost $1 a share on.
Ooh.
And so there were trades where it's like, okay, well, I'm wrong. I got to punch out. It sucks. It sucks. But the fact of the matter is, I think I would have suffered a lot more if I hadn't punched out, especially with Nat Gas. And Li Auto, it bounced, it zigged and zagged. I could have been back in the money. I wasn't. So I ended up taking a bit of a break-even trade on that. But Plug Power, I lost $1. What else? There's other trades that I'm forgetting at the moment that I lost money on, and they were all stop outs.
Yeah.
Like we're strictly, I stuck to my stop.
Yeah, so that's good. So I think the bottom line of the story that we're kind of getting at, guys, is that we all take those losses. Just how we deal with them is gonna separate you from the pack. All right. If you continue to not set your stop losses and continue to take them and not learn your lesson, then sure enough, you're gonna be sitting in an ugly spot and you won't be trading for a long time. All right. So risk management is number one. That's something that I was introduced to at the earliest stages of my trading tenure, and what I used and which really helped it was using calculated fixed risk. Okay, so if your trading platform allows you to construct hotkeys with calculated fixed risk, you can set your max stop per trade, and you can also set a stop on your daily, on your max loss on from a daily perspective. All right. So use those tools that your platform provides you, and it's going to help you stick in the game longer. And just make sure you learn from those mistakes. I mean, like I've done the same thing multiple times, and then eventually it's just like, okay, well, you're either going to go, you have the fork in the road, you're either going to go one way or the other, and you have to sit down and talk with yourself and just be like, which way do you want to go? Do you want to continue on the same path that you're on, not listening to your rules, or do you want to sway the other way and start accepting your losses and learning what you have to do in this game, especially in this profession, is that learn how to accept those losses. Neil's best quote, I think, is you can be wrong, but don't be wrong for a long time.
You shouldn't stay wrong.
Yeah, you don't want to stay wrong. You don't want to stay, exactly. So that's it. But we got another $10 super chat here, guys.
Cash is coming in, man.
Cash is flowing, man. Everybody's printing up on this Monday. Thank you guys so much for all of this. But thank you again here. Thank you all. Thank you for all you do. Question: what would you do with a PLTR $43 in the money call expiring today? Execute it to own shares, or just take profits on the call? That's a great question, man, and I think you're sitting in a pretty spot. So if you have the capital and it won't tie up too much of your capital to own those shares, then by all means, you can close that. But again, you're using an options contract. You can just close that again and reassess the situation. If you really want to exercise that, then by all means, you're sitting on some pretty pennies, my friend. So I think that's something that you can weigh out your options. You can, no pun intended there. Yeah, exactly. Just weigh out what you can do. Do you want to own those shares, or do you just want to close it for a profit? And then whatever sways you, go with that one. But you're sitting in some good positions. Guys, we're going to
hold on. Before we send it to Adara, I have to point out Rivian. Shout out to Scott H. Great call. If I can show the chart here, Rivian had a catalyst this morning. Money, more. What's it called? Joint ventures with Volkswagen. Shout out to the Katina man who has 2 VWs. I didn't know that today. Here we are. We're right back at the lows, the pre-market low as well as the IB low, that 14.5. We're bouncing off it again. The closing print yesterday is 14.45. So there is a possible level of support here for Rivian, up 0.83. Want to mention that. Shout out to Scott H. Adara's at the big desk.
Look here at these markets right now today. S&P 500 actually making points for its third straight red candle, though a little bit of a bottoming tail candle in this most recent one. Still up about 1%. NASDAQ doing quite well as well, up about 1.6%, though actually identical to the SPY when it comes to these candle formations in this drop to the downside. And the biggest catalyst all day has been this TikTok news. Supreme Court finally weighing in, saying that they will uphold the TikTok ban. Then we had the White House basically saying, well, you know what? The new administration is going to have to comment on that. And then Donald Trump said he's going to be reviewing the situation, but his decision will come in, quote, the not so distant future. So very hand wavy here with TikTok. Meta dropped, then popped, and now it's trying to drop once again. And we also have, of course, with the inauguration coming up, DJT as well. Seeing some reports here. Apparently the inauguration will move inside because of weather concerns, though they're still maybe going to have the speech outside regardless. DJT is certainly going to be in play. This is our last trading day ahead of the inauguration of the new administration. But with that, we are brought to you by Prop Firm Match. Are you a skilled trader but lacking capital? Prop firms offer the opportunity to trade with simulated funds, allowing you to showcase your skills, access accounts ranging from $5K to $100K, and you can start with as little as $20. But with over 500 prop firms out there, how do you find out which ones are the best? That's where Prop Firm Match steps in. Prop Firm Match is your go-to platform for finding and comparing only the most esteemed firms with proven track records and consistent long-term payment histories. Access over 4,500 verified reviews. explore payout histories, and discover the best current deals all in one place. So scan that QR code or visit Prop Firm Match today and find the perfect prop firm for you. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. But with that, I am very pleased to announce we'll be going over to Neil and his lesson of the day. Take it away, Neil.
Thank you very much, Adara. When you said I'm pleased to announce, I thought we had like a special surprise or something. Maybe taking talents to South Beach, or I don't know, maybe you had an apple fritter sitting somewhere that I could eat. But no, we got a lesson of the day for you guys, and context matters, right? You know, you got to be able to look at what's going on and judge it by the environment that you're in or the environment of the week, and on a particular stock, maybe what it did yesterday. So I have two examples of how this might actually help you. One of them is going to be Apple. I think this, for obvious reasons, like Apple, you guys know what happened yesterday, so when I zoom out, you guys know what it's going to look like. Most of you anyways, unless you were hiding under a rug and not watching the market. That said, it pulls into prior market lows. You get that open dip, higher low, consolidation as you go up. At this point, it actually looks pretty bullish, right? Like that looks good. It's up on the day at that. You're gapping higher. You're holding higher lows, you're holding VWAP, all these things look pretty solid for continuation. The market is strong and the market is upward trending and continuing to go. But when you zoom it out, obviously you're gonna see something a little bit different. Right? Like what you'll actually end up seeing when you zoom it out on Apple, which doesn't look as bullish, clearly when you look at yesterday, is the rejection of the only buy zone that you had in the early morning on Apple, and then a lower high at pretty much the same area where you had said lower high yesterday. So you're basically running into the spots where Apple decided to roll over again and dipping down in. And this is where context matters. A lot of times if I look at a stock that's gapped up, pull back in, hold support, it's like a VWAP continuation, go long. When you zoom out on Apple, like it's basically telling you that you need much more confirmation on a day like today to be bullish on the stock. Maybe that's not something that is obvious, but I think a lot of times we don't always zoom out on these charts. And the reason I'm saying all of this, and let me zoom back in for effect. The reason I'm saying all this is because I had a loss this morning, and everything was long this morning, which is hilarious and annoying. But I had one long trade that did lose, and it was Snapchat. And what was it? Market opens up, Snapchat's going down, you get this news coming, that obviously Adara just talked about with TikTok, blah, 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 TikTok ban, all that good stuff. And I see it hold on to VWAP. So you make a low off the open range, you hold VWAP, and it's also news-based. Like just a standard, take the long here, give it to the prior bar low as it's reverting the trend, and it's doing so on news, increased volume. Everything about that seems like a standard long. All of that said, when you zoom it out, this looks a heck of a lot different on Snapchat. Now, as I'm looking at it here, it looks like a standard. You've made a bottom, higher low, on news, on volume, VWAP hold, let's go long. But the other way is to see the obvious downward trend from a double top high. There's a higher low, more weakness, and then you're essentially buying what I'm looking at only on my 3-minute chart, and I have not zoomed out. This is the entire point of the lesson. I did not zoom this chart out. News hit, I saw the setup, I took it. But when you zoom it out, you're essentially buying right underneath prior support where it's like flat bottom breaking. The better way to look at that is the observable trend. If we lose that level, you're in the midst of a flat bottom break, also trapping people with the news long. And you can see what happens. We stay disciplined to our rule. We buy here. The second it stops out under there, we actually got a couple of cents worth of slippage, which on Snapchat, you usually don't even have that. But that was an obvious, if you zoom it out, that doesn't look so good. And what you can do in a situation like that, and I'm not saying you're automatically just going to take something else, but you can at least hunt for, if I want to play that news, maybe something that sets up a little bit better. Not saying that Meta did, but at the same time, I did not need to be married to that Snapchat idea. And it just goes to show, we've said this when Boeing comes out with news, or what's another recent example, or short seller report happens, whatever. Any big shock on news, the first thing that you usually want to do is zoom your chart out. Like, get the scope of the situation. It's so easy to just hone in and see a setup on this chart, but instead you can just zoom out that way. You can pull up a higher time frame. When I look at a 15-minute chart, like look at how different this looks like on a 15-minute. Standard stair-step setup on that 3-minute, it looks fine to me, but you pull up that 15-minute and it looks god-awful of a long. And it's brutal. And the thing about it is, I would like a trade to set up on multiple time frames. Like, I don't want to be entering a long position that looks horrible on a 15-minute and a daily just because it looks good on a 3. And so the news was fine, the volume was fine, but in this particular case, all it would take is a zoom out. And even though it was a small hit, there's no chance I wouldn't have made that trade if I zoomed out. No way. If anything, I would have been playing the reversion because it's like, oh, when everyone's going long, just take the breakdown. Same risk trade, but in the other direction, because at least you'd be following the trend and you'd be following the bigger key level in the right direction. So your simple lesson of the day here is get the context for a move on an individual day. Whether you're using 1 minute, 3-minute, or 5-minute charts, oftentimes it's so easy to get wrapped up in that moment of what you see, and then you don't do that job of zooming out. See what's been going on the last couple of days, especially the day before, so that you have that important context for your trading. It'll help you to avoid some not A+ setups that'll turn from an A to a B or maybe to a C when you zoom it out. Ultimately, that's going to save you a little bit here and there. Sometimes it's about what trades not to take as well, and that added context will help you. There's your lesson of the day.
This is the morning break.
Very much, Neil. Informative, eloquent, and all around awesome as always. Neil Roberts every day around that noon hour, dropping Neil's lesson of the day around here.
Neilage.
Call it Neil. Hey, all right, my man.
Neilage.
All right, let's talk a little bit about some of the positions we have on. Futu continues to do the sideways dance. I was able to get a print in the high 30s over here to de-risk a little bit in my next out. Mid 40s, mid 50s, FU, TU. So here, the reason I'm involved in it is because we're getting in higher lows. So big on the day, 9.58%. I'm looking at for take out that consolidation area level at around 88.40. It's going to have to hold the consolidation area low though, otherwise I want no smoke. The SMR trade though is, I don't know. It's holding the level, but this one looks also flat bottom breakish. We've got multiple lower highs defending that 2270 area. How long does that hold for? I haven't seen a change in trend. I haven't seen any higher lows. I haven't seen any higher highs. So it keeps me concerned here, and I'm awfully close to my out. I'm talking about SMR up 12 1/3. Keep your eye out on that one. Let's look at the MAG, because I haven't even looked at the MAG today. Let's just, before we jump to the MAG, Rivian. The Katina Man has been long 1450 off the sticky note for a hot minute. And that 1450 level, let's just flip to the 5 here, the 5-minute on Rivian. Well, it's been in play all day, whether it was in the pre-market around 7, whether it was in the institutional prints around 8, or whether it was in the implied balance low around 10. 1450 generally has been holding all dang day. So here we go. We're going long. And we're going to place the order just below 1450. Let's go. Yeah, I don't want to put it 44s. Let's just go like that. There we go. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to look for a move up on Rivian. There's multiple headlines today on Rivian. There is the funding headline vis-a-vis your boy Joe. Not Joe over here, Joe Wilson, Joe Biden, giving them money to the tune of about $6.6 million. It's going to come in tranches. It's not going to be all at one time, and it's earmarked for specific purposes. Secondly, they've got a new and expanded agreement with Volkswagen. So the initial agreement was for limited purposes. They're expanding that agreement to use modules as well as in addition to other software components as well. And now, this is what got me interested. They're going to use it for economies of scale. So Volkswagen, being the behemoth, I think the second biggest deliverer of cars in the world after Toyota, obviously buys up multiple storms in terms of parts and everything else for cars. So it looks like Rivian may benefit from the purchasing power, I should say, of Volkswagen. So that, to me, is an interesting tailwind. But we need that R2 because the R1's too expensive, too big for it to be, a catch-all type car. We definitely need something a little bit more, something that can go into different or that will capture more more buyers, more interested. I don't know why I'm blanking out over here. It just captures a bigger market. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you, Katina, man. Market is good. So that's the situation right now. I like the tailwind here for Rivian, and I haven't been a Rivian proponent like ever, okay? Because their cars are super expensive. I love the cars, don't get me wrong, but just to me, it's just been hard to see the financial case. I am starting to see now the financial case for them. We'll have to wait, obviously, to see exactly how everything pans out. Okay, SMR is moving back here, and now it's breaking that lower high situation, still south of 23 though. So we're not out of the woods by any means here. We're going to keep an eye out for SMR and Futu, and now we're involved in Rivian. Joseph, pay some bills, baby.
Hey, let's go. Introducing a new discovery on the NASDAQ, Worksport, ticker WKSP. Worksport is a U.S.-based manufacturer and rapidly expanding with growing revenues, government contracts, and innovative green energy products designed to power your life off-grid. Whether you're on the move or seeking sustainable energy solutions, Worksport has you covered. Now trading on the NASDAQ under WKSP. Discover the future of clean energy with Worksport. And there it is, WKSP. Wow, the super chats are absolutely flowing in right here. This one's for you, Sharif, the Texan. Here we go. I like that one. I've never seen the Texan in the chat. Have you? I personally haven't. Sharif, I see you had MVIS on your chart.
Yes, I did.
I'm bagging it at 617 from when I started trading. What are your thoughts on getting back there?
617. Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry.
What's it trading at now?
It's at $1.33, and the only reason I had this up, Texan, is because it's bull flagging. It had a big move up, 13%. It's not a big move up, sorry, a decent move up, and now it's straddling VWAP with some higher lows, but that's not what you're asking. Let's have a look at the daily first and foremost. Okay, so good news is we breached the 200 exponential, which is a solid blue line there on the chart. We've breached that. On a closing basis for multiple days. We did get back below it, but today right back above it. Why is that important? Well, look at this. All these areas over here, we rejected the 200 quite handily. We get above it on an intraday basis, and then we end up wicking down and closing below it. So to me, the 200 is important here because of what happened in the past. So you're using the 50 locally here as support, and now you're breaking and holding from what I perceive to be a good break and a move above the 200. So whether or not we can weasel back into 6, that is an entirely different story. I do like, however, that we're above the 200 and not on a wick basis, but on a closing basis, and now we're using the 50 as support. I hope that helps.
Sorry, what is the ticker again?
MVIS.
MVIS.
M as in monster.
Monster. Okay, let's see if this is on the chain. MVIS.
Go.
Okay, it is. So with those losses, you could have been. Well, I don't want to talk too hindsight, but you can sell some calls against that position if you would really like to, and then hope to mitigate somewhat of those losses. But yeah, just take what Sharif said. But we got another one here for you. This one's a face slapper. $30 from Jose Mercado. All right, so XHG and NUKK still on list for Moon. Thoughts? Good morning. Thanks for the show. Watch and learn every day. No, thank you. No, thank you. So, did you want to? Yeah, those are, I think.
XHG. I saw Nuke today, so let's have a look at those bad boys. Let's start with NUKK. It's one that we've seen before, one that we've traded before here on this desk. UKK. I used to keep saying it got nuked. Yada yada yada. Let's have a look. Good look on the day. So this one started moving yesterday, late in the day. At around, okay, so is this an earnings winner? It started moving at 4. Let me have a look over here just to make sure that I got this report right. Why isn't it highlighting? Nuclear share short of regaining compliance. Okay, so this was the 16th. That's yesterday. So it looks like the pop yesterday. So Nucleus said on Thursday that it regained compliance with the market value of listed securities requirement outlined in the NASDAQ. Okay, so regains compliance. Did it reverse split? And just zoom out on the daily, see if it reverse split. Of course, it's going to embarrass me. Oh, man. I know, bro. I know. Yes, it did reverse split. Over here, 1 to 8. So you got a 1 to 8 back on October. Really? All the way to October. So why did they comply now? I don't know. Okay, I can't do a deep dive while I'm on the show. Let's have a look at it technically. So it's a good move up, and here's the deal. I like how we're using that 32 high 31s as support. You used it all morning and you're using it now in the afternoon and later in the day. And why is that level important? Well, look at the pre-market top. It tops up right at 32, 31 and a quarter. So you're using yesterday's resistance as support. It is a good look. That is a good look, not bad at all. Now, I would be basing my entries off that. Like I wouldn't, it's below VWAP, so I wouldn't trade it as a small cap gapper, a long anyway, because it's below the volume weighted average price. But if it does come down into that 31 and change, I'd pick it up and it gives you a move into VWAP, which is at 34.5. That's several dollars. That is not a bad trade. So yeah, that's my suggestion to you. Get it on the lower end of the range. It's already proven itself that it's respecting that level. And you saw what it did yesterday afternoon. It rejected that level. So you don't have to guess. You're seeing it live. That resistance flipped to support. Hope that helps. Let's have a look at XHG for you. XHG, Exchange Tech. Okay, so let's zoom out first. Go to the 4 hour on this one. Let's see what the general trend is. Yeah, this is obviously a former runner. As you can see, a former small cap gap runner that has big days, then kind of gives up the ghost. As I see it, we got lower highs, we got lower lows. So this is, I can tell you, for me, when I look at something like this, intraday trade only. And the reason is it's markedly different than the one I just looked at for you, which Jose, yeah, where you got the close above the 200 multiple times. This one you're not. This one you're getting the retracements immediately. So it looks like an intraday trade only. Let's go now and analyze it as such. So it got a big boost up there really early in the pre at around 5:30, 6 a.m. and it did volume. It was doing about 1 million shares, almost 1 million shares per 5-minute candle. In fact, at times it did a bit more than that. But look what it did. A Christmas tree retracement up into 150 we go, down into $1 we go. It's got to get above $1.23 for me to get interested. That $1.23 is a volume weighted average price. That's step number one. Step number two for me to trade these small cap gappers is they have to be above the pre-market high. Well, look at that double top at $1.50 on the pre-market high. So definitely for me to trade it, it's got to get above the pre-market high and it's got to be trading above VWAP. If it's not, I'm not trading it as a breakout. As I see it though, it does look like it's finding support at that $1.04, $1.03. So if you want to trade it as a range off key areas of support, have at it. That ain't my style though for these small cap gappers. Let me know how it goes, my man. Shout out to you and thank you very much for the super chat. We're still keeping an eye on Rivian over here, guys. We're in Rivian at 14.63. We're looking to defend that $0.50. I perceive it to be at the lower end of the range. I want to pick it up towards the lower end of the range and wet my beak on some profits if this thing moves back up. So we'll see what we get on this one. Rivian with a headline today, Joseph.
Yeah, good look here, Sharif. We got Tesla pushing in a new high of day. Absolutely fantastic Friday. We're getting a lot of comments too. So we're saying we're the adult version of Reading Rainbow. So I had to look that up, which was very interesting. So yeah.
Neil knows about that. Is that a child's program?
Yeah, something along those lines. It's like the adult version of Reading Rainbow. No, it's funny. So one thing, Sharif, you were talking about reverse split on that previous stock. So I have a little bit of a reverse split story for myself. So way back in the day when I was early investor, I was a young jit at the time. I didn't know much about anything. And I told you guys the stories of me just buying, like typing in what are the best Canadian weed companies, okay? So anyways, I'm holding this bag of Aurora cannabis, all right? And one day I wake up. ACB being the ticker. And one day I wake up and it's like, okay, I'm bag holding. This is not looking good. And I wake up and it says $75 per share. And I'm like, no way, how did this?
This is 2021.
Yeah. And I'm like, no way, how did this work? And I'm like, yeah, I'm back, like we're alive again. And then sure enough, it reverse split. And
Didn't that happen to me yesterday? Remember I was in a small cap gapper and then they did a midday offering?
No way, that's crazy.
That's like classic for these small cap gappers.
So so there's another example of a Joe Wilson loss right there. Yeah, so there.
What is this, Lost Friday?
Yeah, this is
We're all
lost.
gonna
But I
reminisce
mean,
on our
like,
losses?
yeah, exactly. But I mean, hey, you got to talk about the losses
Yeah,
a little bit
absolutely,
here.
bro.
Katina may mention that too. Considering how the market is, I mean, everything's not all rainbows all the time, unfortunately. And we all have those stories that kind of make you the individual that you are and the trader
So
that you
just
are.
remind me, we're punching into the SPY at 1, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Don't forget me. I got the 1 o'clock.
Okay,
Yeah,
good,
geez, you
good,
got me. See, I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here?
Guys,
Right?
we're taking this playmaker for serious.
Yeah, we're taking it serious now, man. It's growing in popularity. Make sure you guys get those votes in too, guys. It's only 12:30, not even.
Yep.
So we like to get those votes up to 1,000 as well too, guys. So yeah.
See what Rainmaker
Yeah,
said?
cannabis is
All
dead money. Yeah, it was more of
No, sorry, wrong one. Gerald Fitz. All I heard was bag of cannabis.
Okay, yeah.
You can tell
there
it's
you
Friday
go.
there, huh?
There you go, guys. But we're gonna send it off to Adair real quick.
It's our newest post here on TTV Research, and of course, it's about NVIDIA. It's actually worth noting, Jefferies just here, I'm seeing just now, actually released their ranking of the Mag 7. NVIDIA, they ranked #1, and it's not surprising why. This is, again, you can check this out on TTV Research on X. We had a post a couple days ago about comparing the revenue growth between a couple different semiconductor names, including NVIDIA. But this is an impressive chart. So NVIDIA is actually 1 year ahead of the calendar year. So they're headed for their Q4 2025 report. But I mean, it's worth noting, of the last 12 quarters, 8 of them have included all new all-time high record revenue. So of the 8 of the last 12 quarters have included that record revenue. And the last 6, we've actually made new all-time highs with regards to revenue. So what happens if NVIDIA misses and they report slightly lower than expected revenue, or if it drops here on a year-over-year basis? I don't know, but it's worth noting here, this is a wild chart. This is exponential growth for NVDA, which again here is Jefferies' top pick for the Mag 7. I'll read the rest here because it's pretty interesting. They ranked Google #2, Meta #3, Apple #4, Amazon #5, Tesla 6, and Microsoft gets last place in Jefferies' Mag 7 ranking. So regardless, NVDA, great look. Again, TTV Research, you can see all of these graphics, cool market insights. And if you guys have any ideas, always just let me know. Here, you can tag me in the chat. Back to you.
Elon is everywhere he is, bro.
Yeah, I mean, what didn't you say is too clean? Adira, fantastic infographic
Yeah,
again.
Adira.
Yeah, once again, hitting that ball out of the park with that one. I need to get my hands on some of these here.
Canva, man.
Yeah, Canva. She knows what
killing
she's
it
doing.
these
Yeah,
days
she's
with
actually
that.
killing it. So yeah, really good luck there, guys. Continuing to see what's going on with Google. Hopefully we can break the high a day. iBit making a new high a day, Tesla making a new high a day, and then now we are running on some key resistance levels in the Qs and the SPY as well too, guys. So we're holding on to this Google trade. We don't have too much left. A fraction of a percent, if anything like 5-10 at max. So we'll take a look at that. But here's the trade, folks. You can see what we have on Google. And there we are, in at the break of the resistance here. You can see it on the 1 minute time frame, and then boom, 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 start taking some profits out as we continue to climb higher, guys. So yeah, let us know in the chat what you guys got going on. Today is nothing short of exciting. So here we go. Here's Apple starting to move now as well too, Sharif. So putting in this, whoa, look at this double bottom here we got here on Apple, and now helping drag the market up. So it's kind of like a leg and leg race. These group of mega caps will go. Apple's lagger, now they're going to move and continue to drive the market higher. So do we reach 440 on Tesla today? As of right now, it's looking like it, man. We're continuing to grind higher. That volume is starting to step in on those lower time frames as well too. Something that we always like, and you guys know I like to keep an eye on my volume by time profile. So here we go. As we continue to appreciate that volume supporting the move higher, that can say we can classify this as a genuine move. We really, really like this one, guys. Continuing to move as the market is continuing to move higher. Bitcoin 105,000, absolutely beautiful. I mentioned, hey, I think we can possibly go and test those all-time highs today, and at the pace that we're at, Sharif, and I know Neil mentioned this before too, is like right after the close, around like 5-6 o'clock-ish, you get that latter half starting to move it as well too. So breaking through key resistance zones that we marked out before is Bitcoin, and now breaking through that resistance with momentum. That is something we want to see, guys. So really good luck there in the overall market and in these big names.
Absolutely. Ryan, did your mom buy the recent dip on BTC, brother?
Oh, brother.
I can't even get her to put 1%, 0.5%. I started with 5, and then I said put 1, and then I said put half.
Never know.
And I just get no's. I don't know why, bro. No, but I really feel like, I don't even want to say it on camera, but there's just a dividing line between people who like Bitcoin and people who don't.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And there's a very distinct characteristic that it seems to fall.
Yeah,
anyway, guys, no. The answer to your question is no. I even tried to get my old man. I'm like, just put in some money, bro. Don't worry about her. She won't know. Yeah. And he doesn't want to pull the trigger either. So it's not her. I don't know, guys. I can't convince my parents to. 70% of our audience. The Katina man brings up a good point as well. He's like 70% of our audience, give or take, you know, they don't have crypto either. So it's not widely adopted, which is funny, Katina man, because BlackRock was chiming in about the fact that retail was really picking up Bitcoin. It was institutions who were still lagging behind, which is an obvious tailwind because they got a lot more money than retail. If they start chiming in.
Those who believe in it from a retail standpoint are like, all right, this is a wicked new vehicle that we need to get our hands on. So yeah, guys, in the chat, if you're not an owner of crypto or you don't believe in crypto, just write in the chat. We want to know why. Like, why don't you like it? What do you want to see in order for you to kind of, we don't want to say sway, but what would you want to see from the space in order for you to kind of start to want to participate? So write that in the chat.
Question, That's a great question.
So like, what do you want to see in order to start participating? Bitcoin at $1 million, and then be like, oh, I should have thought of it. I should have maybe, but no. But in all reality, what would you like to see? What would you like to see in this space in order for you to start to look at it with a more serious front?
Ram, give me step by step how to buy crypto.
Okay.
Ram, I've made this point before and I'm going to tell you again. So we're not sponsored by them, but Coinbase allows you to do these lessons, and in exchange for doing the lessons, you get whatever type of cryptocurrency they're offering. It's not usually Bitcoin. But the beautiful thing is, Ram, you can take that not important, like meme coin, and then convert it to BTC. So you're literally getting Bitcoin for free using Coinbase. So there's one way. The other way, Ram, is to actually just put some money in an account, woman, right? And then hit the buy button. So that's the obvious way, guys. I'd like to hear what some people have to say, though. U.S. adoption and reserve in like the U.S. has gold, says Ryan Phillips. We may get that. We've already heard Donald Trump make several pronouncements about the strategic Bitcoin reserve, so we'll have to keep a watch on that. On BTC, I feel like it's too high, late to the game. I don't know, says Ezekiel. You're not wrong. Maybe some people feel that way as well. Let's see what else people are saying.
I like that point. Hold on, no, continue, Sharif, and I'm going to pull something up here real quick.
B-Bot 5,000. Didn't Sharif just get on crypto recently? Yes. About, I don't know, like a month or two ago. I've got IBIT long at around 51 and change, and you know, I'm happy with it. I add every little bit. I add 5 shares, 10 shares at a time. I'm not adding big positions. Joseph's got a much larger position. From the get-go, I've been kind of just weaseling my way in. But like I've made this point clear, and I'm not trying to pump Bitcoin, obviously, but I'm committed to it now. I feel that this is kind of an inevitability, and I want to participate in it. So that's it. Let's see what else people are saying. Reigns says Bitcoin needs a big correction. Dewey, my dad was no to Bitcoin, but my mom said yes. Interesting. I think if my mom didn't say no, it would have been the other way around. He would have said yes, and my mom would have been the one saying no. Stock market's a scam. Crypto's a bigger scam, says ATD. I think you're on the wrong channel, brother, because this is kind of all we do around here. I'm a buyer of Bitcoin at 56,000, says Rich Buddy. Okay. Drop trades. At this point, BTC is a better investment over gold and silver. Let it run up, then buy your metals with it. Interesting take, my man. Okay. So you're not disliking the metals. You're just, hey, Bitcoin's got more upside. If you like the metals, take the profits from BTC and rotate them into metals. Los Polos Hermanos. I didn't like Bitcoin when it was 10K because it felt like a scam. Now I don't like it because it's 100K and I can't afford it. I'm hitting the oh my God for you. Yeah, brother. Been there. Let me know if you ever end up getting into it. Shane, for the trading platforms to make it easier to trade, to buy and sell, it's a pain in the butt and can get confusing. Look, I haven't had that experience personally because I haven't bought the spot coin. I've been buying IBIT, so you just get it directly off your brokerage. But let me show you something. I mean, here it is. This is my trading screen on my brokerage. This is obviously SIM, but if I put BTC, look at that, Bitcoin, and I can buy it, right? I can buy the spot ETF, the spot coin. So I don't know if it's that hard. Like, I personally haven't experienced it being that hard.
What I was going to try to display, but I can't find it. I don't want to dig too deep right now. I just want you to pull up a list of the total halving cycles, the total amount of halving cycles within Bitcoin. And we're sitting at the 4th cycle right now, okay? So think about it, go and calculate how many total halving cycles we are, and then see when the final one is going to be. And then from that standpoint, tell me if you think you're too early or not, all right? The last Bitcoin isn't going to be mined till like 2140. That's when the last piece of Bitcoin is going to be mined.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 2140. It's 120 years from now.
Let me ask you, I want to play devil's advocate for a second. And I've seen many people in the chat say this, so I'm going to just throw it your way.
For sure.
Quantum computing, we've been talking about this. It's a ways out, depending on who you believe. You believe Jensen, you believe some of the other, like the Rigetti guy who went on TV and was like, no, we're really ahead of what Jensen thinks. Does quantum put Bitcoin at risk? Because it can basically... I don't want to say it can hack it. That's not what I mean, but you know what I'm saying.
But the power of the computing, the power
What's
of the
your
computing.
opinion on that?
I don't. Again, I'll think of it because I don't know too much about the space. But what can happen, what will I think, and how this works is that each mining rig provides security to the system, right?
Sure.
So what happens when these rigs are performing on a quantum level as well too? So can a quantum computer hack the system and create forks or something along those lines? Sure, I think it can, but I don't know enough about the power of quantum computing and how it's going to directly affect the chain. But again, if you can, and the way I'm thinking of it, you can essentially fight fire with fire.
Well, there you go.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good point, bro.
Right, so
Great point.
that's how I would look at it. And then so I'm not going to touch too much on it. The chat's going crazy about it now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, again, I don't know enough about the quantum computing. I know that the mining rigs here now are extremely powerful already as is, and it's still difficult for them to mine Bitcoin. It takes a lot of energy. And then someone else in the chat also mentioned it would need like an absurd amount of quantum computers to be actually able to hack the Bitcoin system and just ruin it. So, who knows?
Let's see what everybody's saying in the chat. I want to see this. All right. Where is it over here? There we go.
Blockchain will adapt
yes,
to,
it
says
does.
Ryan. Yeah.
Sorry?
Felipe says the blockchain will adapt to, Ryan Felipe says.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But like, can we get a bit more specific? And Scott Tomlinson, yes, it does. Quantum will change everything. Think about complexity and speed. Well said. FC, even with quantum, it would take years to break Bitcoin system. Didn't know that. I wasn't under the impression that that was the case. I thought it would be a lot quicker. Desi Miami. Most likely, but not yet. I will pose risky, but not yet. Okay, fair. Mitchell Rosa. Short term, yes. Long term, no. Uplift markets, nah. I believe quantum will be making BTC more secure. Okay, that's a hot take like that.
But that's what I said, fire with fire, right?
Yeah.
So there you
absolutely. Let's see what else people are talking to. Shout out to Havana. The spot is as easy to buy and sell as stock. The learning curve is the fee structure, and noobs get washed by making market orders. Aside from the noobs and, the whatever, but I get your point. Your point is very well taken. You need to apprise yourself about how the execution, the fees, everything that you need to apprise yourself of before you invest real money. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, but your point very well taken, my friend. I do agree with you there. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Lazy Rocks. Quantum should go faster than most estimates, but good point on miners and chains. Talking to you there.
There you
go. Goodbye RSA encryption. All right. Kirshner crew. Sharif, Joe, how is BTC being used in legitimate business? What can you actually buy with it besides drugs, gambling, etc.? Kirshner crew, I got to tell you, I've heard this argument before. I don't think it holds water anymore, okay? I gotta tell you, there is now AI programs that can go onto the blockchain, basically audit every transaction and be able to trace down criminal enterprises. I don't know if it's being used yet and what scale it's being used, but I don't think going forward, that's gonna be the primary use of Bitcoin. I think maybe you have a point with respect to how it was done in the past, but now when you have institutional involvement, the US government reportedly wanting to create a strategic reserve, it brings and the aura of legitimacy to the asset. And that's kind of what I feel. And with that likely will come more scrutiny. I don't know if you get more regulation, or we'll have to wait and see, obviously, but I don't think that that is going to be the primary use going forward. With respect to your point, though, what can you buy? I don't necessarily think that you need to be able to buy anything with Bitcoin. I don't understand why you can't have an asset for the sake of it being a store of value and nothing else. Why does it have to be compared to currency? Why does it have to be compared to hard assets like real estate and paintings and wine and watches? Why? There's obviously the greater fool's theory at play, but I think the asset can just be the asset itself, and people, because of the amount of money we printed with all these central banks all around the world, will want to hold it simply as being a store of value. And I don't think it needs to have a use more than that. That's just my opinion. I can be wrong. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say in the chat.
I think that's a good point there, Sharif, because it's a new technology, right? So this is something we're not used to. Sharif mentioned paintings, real estate, everything you're used to. You have this physical piece of value in your hands, but you can't hold Bitcoin. Like, you can't be like, oh, here's some Bitcoin, I'm holding it right now. No, you can't physically touch it. All right, so I think that's a really good point. And someone asked in the chat, would you mind explaining the Bitcoin halving cycle? Sure, in a brief explanation. So what happens is when these computers complete the equation, they're rewarded a block, okay? So, and with that block comes X amount of Bitcoin, all right? So every 4 years, that reward is cut in half, okay? So it was started off at like 50, then it went to 25, 13, et cetera, whatever. That may not be the exact numbers, but that's why it started to appreciate, because that reward for mining Bitcoin is cut in half. So whether it be now it's at like 1 point something, the next halving cycle will be 0.8 Bitcoin rewarded for each block mined. And that's why this thing continues to appreciate in price, all right? There is a finite supply and then an extreme amount of demand for this thing. So that's why you can see Bitcoin move in the direction that it is, guys. But yeah, a lot of crypto talk here, guys. Let's continue to monitor these market. Good talks, though, guys.
Yeah, man.
Everybody chiming in is absolutely fantastic. Hopefully that explanation was good, and I know you guys are enjoying it as well, too. Seeing a lot of new names in the chat, so yeah, which is absolutely amazing.
Loving it.
Yeah, we're loving that, too. So yeah, here we are, guys, in some Google, slightly pulling back. Market looks like it's slowing down. The momentum is, So yeah, again, Friday, running into that 1 o'clock hour, Sharif, things can start to cool off here. So yeah, just continue. Don't try to force anything. Don't chase anything necessarily, unlike what we're about to do here up here on the SPY trade. It seems like, Sharif, in a matter of 18 minutes. But yeah, guys, get those votes in as well, too, on the Playmaker. We want to see what you guys are thinking on the session. If the U.S. buys Bitcoin, price will skyrocket before they buy, and then they'll try to sell, price will crash. I mean, I highly doubt that they're just going to get it on the open. Well, they will have to get it off the open market, but not at the price that it is now. So maybe they'll get some selling and then look to do some liquidity grabbing and then grab it. And then obviously they want it to appreciate in price too. I know that I was reading that the U.S. government already has about 250,000 Bitcoin, but that's just from confiscation and criminal intent. So yeah, that's it.
Elon coming up with an interesting take here, one that I haven't heard before, Elon, so I want to read it out. I don't agree with you, but I think it's valid. It's a valid argument to make. Bitcoin's value actually derived from the lack of government involvement. Once Trump and governments are involved, it's losing what creates its value. So I'm assuming what you're trying to say is it's kind of like a vigilante coin, or people who don't want to be
decentralized aspect of it.
Yeah, the DeFi aspect, absolutely. The decentralized aspect, where you're basically if I get your argument correctly, you're saying the people who want to be on the outlying parts of society, essentially, who don't want to be involved with currency and everything else that's mainstream, have gone into Bitcoin. But once Bitcoin becomes mainstream, everybody who was in it, because it wasn't mainstream, will move out. Maybe you have a point, but I think that you have a point from the retail trading perspective or the retail investor perspective, because I find it hard to believe that big money wants to be the outsider. They can't really be, because the outside market's too small for big retail investment, or big institutional investment. So I don't know. I see your point. It makes sense in certain categories. I don't know if it does here though, but great call, because I've never heard that kind of argument made before, Elon. So shout out to you, my man. And besides, you know, Joseph and I, we probably don't agree most of the time, but very respectful of each other's thoughts. And I'm always going to read ideas that don't jive with mine, and then that's the whole point of the exchange of ideas, bro.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it too, right? Because you may not agree with what somebody says, but then you can take it into consideration and be like, is it valid or not? Yes or no? But again, one of a quote that I heard a long time ago is that the greatest minds take bits of information from everybody and then just build their own thesis. So yeah, I like that. And so agree or disagree, then you can take into everybody's perspective and take it as it is, guys. So
all right, guys, there's a new small cap gapper du jour, and I'm late to the party on this one. BTCT. You guys have been saying it in the chat, so I'll give you guys credit. You guys have been calling out. This is a minor. It's up 40%. It's a small cap. It's a $36 million market cap. It's done 16 million shares on the day. And there goes the high of day. This one's taking out the high. 41 2/3 now, Joseph. BTCT squeezing, it looks like, into that $7 area, 680 now, being tested by said ticker. I'm going to keep an eye out on this one. It behooves me to throw this one, though, on the side chart. Who are we going to get rid of here, Joseph? We're going to get rid of GSIT, because it's taking a sweet time to get above VWAP. So let's have a look at this on the 5-minute chart and do some TA. So as we just said, big boy breakout there. It's taking out the highs. Is this the institutional print at 825? This looks like a fake print, bro. Okay. That doesn't look accurate at all, that 825 print. Do you guys have that 825 print on your charts for BTCT? Because I have the high there at 743. It doesn't look like it spent any time there. Let me throw the 1 on to see what kind of price action. Yeah, so it does look like it is a legitimate print. That is ugly, dude. If that's a legit print, right at 825, okay. So I'll have to wait until that 725 level gets taken out, because, well, that's just my trading style. I have to wait for the pre-market high to get taken. So it's looking really good right now. Above VWAP, above the 10. Here comes $7, and it's above this area crest as well, that 1120 area pop, which took to 660. Joseph Birch Music doesn't. Jammer T does. Coffee Traders got 743. What do I got? I got 743. Okay, so that does look like it's a valid print. Other people seeing it as well. Here comes $7 on BTCT. 691 HOD, 45% now. Good squeeze on this name. I got to give you guys the float. Wow, 2 million share float. It's a little bit less, 1.97 million. And let's find out what the short float is. BTCT, 3.12. Not huge, but not bad. Let's go to the daily. Let's see where this one could encounter some resistance. Well, look, I don't think we get up to 14, but there's plenty of resistance at 13 and 14. Look at that big boy bull flag at that level that we defended 14 multiple times before the big retracement and the move down into about $4. Good look right now, guys, for BTCT.
Is that the daily or
that's the daily? Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, all right, breaking out there. Yeah, good luck there, guys, on that. So let's take a look at Google and see what we're up to on Alphabet. Running into some key resistance zones here. Let's see if we can break through this with momentum and then we continue in the primary trend. As of right now, we had that pullback here. Let me zoom in a little bit here, guys. On lower volume, a positive signal as the market continues to slowly crawl higher. And here we go on Google, breaking through those resistance levels, sitting around 196.05. Now breaking through. Good stuff on that one. See what we got going on here. So yeah, all right, guys, Google breaking out. We're going to wait for the break of this previous high, and then we'll look to take off probably the remainder of our position. But one thing I wanted to do is someone in the chat asked me about CCJ, Camco Corp. And
Oh, that's an amazing company.
Is it? Yeah.
Canadian, baby.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, uranium.
Yeah, they asked me about an iron condor on this, Sharif, and this isn't necessarily the type of price action from a daily standpoint that you would want to implement an iron condor on, especially as you're breaking out in a specific direction, right? Iron condors are market neutral strategies. So essentially what you want to do is you're going to do a bear call spread and a bull put spread here. And then when you have those options both written, what the objective of the trade is to not breach either end. So you believe that the stock or the underlying asset is just going to continue to trade within this range, all right? So this isn't something that I would specifically look to construct an iron condor on. And to be honest with you, I don't see too many tickers where I would want to right now, especially the ones that I'm used to trading. I think the closest subject would be advanced micro devices, and even so, that's not something I would necessarily want to play. I would look for more of a bull put on this one because now you have a definitive base around 114.34 on AMD, and if it breaks it, then your thesis can be invalid, or you can hold it until you get stopped out on that, because we know that with credit spreads, you can give yourself a little room of fluctuation, right? You don't necessarily need the price to go in the direction of that strategy, just not hit your stop loss or go in the money, okay? So when you're writing those positions, it can still go up and down and you still be profitable. You just don't want those short contracts to expire in the money, all right? So, Paulo, I use condors, okay. Yeah, you're lucky I didn't read that one properly. Otherwise, yeah, that would not have been good. Gamble to Disney gift, yeah, there you go. Let's go to 22K, please. What would you like to see 22K? Thoughts on Mara? Yeah, let's take a look at Mara. Jaspreet, I know, was mentioning this the other day as well too, and starting to trade extremely well, breaking out with spot itself. Now running into some key resistance levels around that 2050 price target. So a nice base here on Mara, continuing to trade higher. Let's zoom in and see what we got going on from an intraday perspective as well too. Now coming off the tops, we see that we have that resistance and some key support levels as well, guys, that I always like to point out. If we break through, then maybe we go and test the volume weighted average price right now. Bitcoin is starting to pull back. We went as high as $60 on IBIT. Now pulling back into VWAP. Let's see if we can hold that. That would be extremely nice, and then we can continue higher. But again, some profit taking, it seems to be. I want these resistance levels, or the resistance break, to hold. So a retest of those levels to confirm it may be necessary in order for us to continue higher. At the path that we were on, we were just shy, only about $3,000 off of the all-time highs on Bitcoin, slightly pulling back now. I do think we can climb higher. I mean, 4 or 5% in a day for this thing is essentially nothing, and I think we're on the right path with Bitcoin, especially with DJT pulling up Donald himself. Finally in office on the 19th, which is Sunday, and then the markets are closed on the Monday, so there'll be some exciting price action. But guess what? Bitcoin trades 24/7, so you can trade that thing at any given time.
All right, Joseph, a couple of trades to report on. One doing very well, one doing very poorly. Rivian, very poorly. Microsoft, very well. So Rivian gave up the ghost, all right? We're at yesterday's closing print. It's going to have to hold 40 or I'm gone. So I've got 3 pennies here. Now we're at break even. Or actually, we're down. Sorry, we're down 0.07. The closing print on Rivian from yesterday, $14. It looks in 44 cents. That's an ominous number because the triple fours. Anybody who knows, if you know, you know. So this one is breaking down, it looks like. Microsoft, kind of the opposite look right now. We're breaking out on the soft one. We're looking like we're going to get into 432 on MSFT, and that's where I see VWAP. Kind of a screwed VWAP there for whatever reason. I'm waiting at 55s. I'm long at 72s. Here's 50. Can I get the print? 52s now on the ask. Let's see if we can get that print. I'm waiting at 55s, about a 4-penny spread. Not bad for a $400 name. The spread is that tight. MSFT, breaking, get it, Adara. There we go. We get the print at 55s. Now I'm going to wait at the dollar. So we're going to go all the way up into 74s, 75s. We'll see if we can get it there. Volume weighted average price on MSFT, 432.16. So the print at 75, if we get a print at 75, will be south of the volume weighted average price. That I still have more I'll still have more shares there, so hopefully we'll be able to take out 75, and then I'll be able to take out something maybe a little bit north of 432 at VWAP. So keeping my eye out right now. The reason I liked Softy is because it was putting in one hell of a rounded bottom. Shout out to Big Spile Burdette. Here's the deal. I got in, where'd I get in? I got in at 72s when it was in and around here. I liked the break of this level. So this was the bamboozler right here. That 430 break and drop. It gets above 430 and then it dips all the way down to 428.60. However, when we took it out over here on a closing basis, I said this looks awfully different, especially with that 428.5 for whatever reason being one hell of a support level. Look at the amount of bottoming tail wicks into that 428.5, showing buyer exuberance, and then, bless you, Raymond, and then you get that rounded bottom kind of effect. So that's why I punched in into MSFT up 1 2/3%, looking for 75s first, and then we're looking for a break and take of the volume weighted average price. So Microsoft, Dees, not too bad. We'll look to do a little bit better because we are doing poorly on Rivian. Move back to this piece of, you know what? What's my price? 58. I'm 12 pennies out of the money right now on RIVN. Anything below 40, Joseph, I'm gone. So that's the situation right now with Rivian. What's your look?
Hey, good look there, guys. I want to point out these signals that we talk about time and time again. Here's one on IBIT at an extreme high, and guess what? We have that inverted hammer, that shooting star doji with that isolated volume signature, and now look at the retracement that we are now enduring here on Bitcoin, guys. So that's that look, a beautiful turnaround signal, and now to see if we can go and test the volume weighted average price. Hopefully we hold up there and continue the move that we're on because this breakout is absolutely genuine. But let's get back to some Google because that's the only thing we put on so far for you guys today. It's trading nice, so no need to sway too far from that. I'll make this chart slightly bigger for you guys. And here we are on Google, guys. Break of resistance continuing to go higher. I said at that break of this, nice key pivot here. We're going to look to take some off. Now pulling in is the overall market. Mara breaking through those key support levels with momentum that we literally just marked out, guys. Look at that. We were just talking about it. We marked it out, and now we broke through with momentum. Another key support level right here. That volume stepping into the downside. So there it is, Mara breaking as Bitcoin starts to retrace on the session, guys. But here it is, Google trading extremely well. And look at this thing from a daily perspective. Just the other day on this candle, I'm like, okay, are we gonna break 190 and head to the south side? But now we're running into resistance levels. So let's see. We're gonna look for when they report, and we will get back to you guys on that one. But let's see what Adair is up to.
Yeah, we actually have some news here on TSLA. Tesla Canada, apparently on their website, lowering basic autopilot prices by 65%. So pretty significant price decrease here for autopilot for Tesla in Canada. Keep an eye on that. Usually price decreases can be viewed sometimes as bearish. Either way, TSLA on watch. You're making a bit of a top, guys. Back to you.
I got excited there because I thought it was full FSD, but it's just basic autopilot.
So that's a monthly sub FSD or something like that?
Okay, so my understanding is it will be eventually, but it's still one cost at point of sale. Joseph, we haven't built a car this week, have we?
Oh no, we haven't built a car. I don't know how I feel about a sub for full self-driving. Like,
what's that? Oh well, that's what he wants to do for FSD because you're going to be able to use it as a robo-taxi. So you're going to be able to make money off your own car when you're at work. It's going to be driving people around.
So what, he has to get his hands in it too?
Of course, bro. It's a SaaS, software as a service, baby. All right, let's do this right here. We're going to go into...
What are we going to build here today, though?
Let's build the Model Y. Are you a Model Y or a Model X?
Let's build a Saib, man. Can we build a Saib? Yeah.
The Saib gets me mad. I'll tell you why. Because it's like $20,000 more.
You don't want to build a Saib?
I want to build the Saib, but you know, I just...
Okay, no. Go to your Y. Go to your Y. We'll do your Y. Yeah.
You know what? We'll do the X.
All right, we'll do the X.
Let's do the X.
We'll meet in the middle.
You don't like the X, Katina, man? All right. Well, it definitely needs a revamp. A light starting price of $111,000. Then if you want the plaid, you're gonna have to pay $132,000.
Ram says build a Rivian. I think we already did that.
Yeah, we did that, Ram, but you weren't here. All-wheel drive. We're going to go all-wheel drive, Joseph, and then I got to get my blue, baby. Right? If I don't get my blue, I get upset.
Okay.
And then we're going to ride on 22.
All right.
We got to ride on 22.
I rock with you.
So then all right, so the blue, that's going to cost us 2,000 Canadian dollars. And if we want to ride on 22s, we got to pay 7,200 Canadian dollars. I don't want that tow package though, Ram.
Throw the
I don't
tow
want
package
the tow
in
package.
there. We don't.
You
we
want
don't
the tow
got it.
package?
Yeah, but throw it in, man.
It says it's included. It's included. All right, we're good. All right, what do we got?
else we got here?
I got the white interior. White interiors.
Okay.
I'm all about that. I hate that cream interior.
That screams no kids. The white interior.
Yeah. Which is accurate, dog. Which is accurate.
No kids. Yeah.
So that the 5-seater, that's included. The 6 and the 7-seater, that's going to cost us some money. Let's just leave that. Then I'm going to get the yoke.
You want the yoke?
Is
But we were just talking about that.
I know. I'm willing to practice on that. Just a light 1,350 Canadian dollars, Joseph. Don't ask too many questions about that. Then full self-driving, my man, $11,000. It is a one-time payment only.
Oh, okay.
And then, Joseph, after all that, we're going to be on the hook for $145,327, of which right now is due $250.
That's not even with HST included.
That's with nothing, dude. That's no interest rate, no HST, no nothing. HST, guys, by the way, is our sales tax, 13% combined. Yeah,
harmonized sales.
So let's go ahead and order this right now. I'm kidding, of course. But yeah, $11,000 for FSD. Not too bad. But here's the point that I wanted to make, though. Let's do this. I want to show what the Cybertruck's base price is in the States, and then what it is in Canada.
Let's see.
Let's do this, okay? So let's go to Tesla.com again. Let's see if we can weasel into the American one this time. There we go. We go United States, English, and then let's just do a side-by-side over here of this one and that one. All right, now we're going to go back. You guys can come to my screen if you'd like. All right, so here we go. Let's go Cybertruck. This is the left side is the American, the right side is Canadian. All right? Cybertruck order now. There we go. So get lost, bro. Here we go. How much is this the base price, Joseph, of the Cybertruck right now in the States? Where is it? How come it's not showing me the base price in dollar value?
They don't want us to know, man.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, well, in Canada, here it is. The base model, $137,990.
Okay.
You want that Cyber Beast? It's going to cost you $166,000. Let's see now if we can zoom in and see what the American price is. I know, but Katina, man, it's not the same. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Here it is. 74,000. Oh my God. 74,490. Let's do the conversion, Katina, man, because I think that is the right thing to do. So we said 74,109. So 109,000 Canadian dollars converted for the base model if you were to buy it in America. 137,990 if you buy it on this side of the border. Elon, I need explanations. It's not a currency problem here.
So you may as well just drive to Buffalo and buy it.
Clearly, but then you got to bring it in, and then you have to go to Buffalo. Says the Katina man.
And Neil jumps to the defense.
This is really bad. What the hell is this? What is this,
I don't
dude?
know, man.
Is this the all-wheel drive version over here? Like, do I have a different version in the American?
Yeah.
I don't get this, man. Sharif, order after you were the 51st day. Come on, bro.
Yeah, order after.
Come on, bro.
That's crazy, man.
Your point well taken, though, man. Canadian dollar and the yen. Yes. We know. But that's clearly nothing to do with the currency there, Joseph.
Yeah.
Because if you're...
I seen a funny meme the other day there. Some people were calling the Canadian dollar the snow peso. I thought that was funny, the snow peso.
So my brother-in-law is from the States, obviously, because my sister lives in SoCal. So he's over with my nephew because his sister moved to Canada, right? So he was coming to visit her. So I saw him yesterday, and he's complaining that he still has a little bit of money left over here, and he doesn't want to move it. Yeah. Because he's like, if I move it now, I am gonna get rinsed. So I was like, dude, you should start buying some Canadian dollars. Like, we might be bottoming out here with the new government coming in likely sometime this year and unlocking what we all know to be very robust natural resources.
So I mentioned this from before. We are rich over here with all those natural minerals and precious metals. So we know that Donald is going with the drill baby drill thesis, and I said I think that's soon to come here north of the border with the next possible prime minister being Pierre, and he wants to unlock the power of Canada's natural resources. So here we are. Hopefully we get another oil boom like we had in the teens or something. I believe those lines are.
It is like we got the most amount of uranium. We have potash. We have cobalt, lithium, all in northern Ontario. We got lumber. We got plenty. It's just
everything.
we've had way too many regulations kind of holding us down.
And he said he's going to eliminate that as well too, so he can unlock the power of the natural resources. But Sharif,
yes, sir.
You know what I did while we were building cyber trucks and everything? I entered this SPY trade right at 1 o'clock here, guys.
And?
Here we are. We're in it at 598.69. All right, so 598.69, and our stop loss would be 597.69 with a profit target of 669. Oh yeah, your favorite number, 69. There you go. 69. Bang. Here we go. Let's see if we bounce here, guys. In the market, Tesla going to test those highs of days. Look at this engulfing candle here on Google, just continuing to trade higher here on the session, guys. Beautiful recovery. Let's take a look at it from a daily standpoint as we just were. I believe Neil said that their earnings report is February 4th, so good to know on that one. So a couple weeks away, guys. Here's Google running into some key resistance levels, a big double top here, almost to the penny. Are we going to punch through this? It's as of today, it's looking like it with that momentum coming into the overall market, guys. So nothing short of a good day here. The Q's trading well, extremely well, I should say, along those lines. So here we are looking at the Q's. And bang, now running into some key, sorry, I don't know why I can't think either today. Some key resistance levels, but here we are in the market, guys. A good session. Things slowly starting to pick up once again, and it's only 1 o'clock, so who knows what's going to come near the end and that latter half of the day.
All right, Joseph, we took out 82s there on Softy, so we're doing well on this one. I'm looking for this one now to retrace into the volume weighted average price. I'm just looking at the side chart here. VWAP on my side chart, guys, 432 and a fifth. So let's see if we're able to take out 432s, because at 12:55, about 10 minutes ago, we weaseled on up to 432, rejected, dropped back down into the $0.50, defended that, and now we're moving back up. Zigging and zagging right now. The future is on the way up. It is awfully close to that 21,682 high a day that we put in right before the market tanked on the open there. So it looks as if we put that high 5 minutes before the open. We're awfully close to. We're printing 4.2s. The high is 8.2. So we'll keep an eye out on this one. Lots doing well, guys, not just Softy. Have a look at Goggles. Goggles has been moving up quite aggressively, knocking the door of 196. It's got resistance generally in that 197 area. Tesla also on the move into 437. We'll talk more about that when the human algo tells us what's up at the big desk.
Yeah, it's kind of odd here. We're seeing a little bit of volume increases across the board in some of these CHIPS Act-related names, but they're not all moving similarly. Micron actually breaking out here on highs. Intel pushing lower, both getting some volume as we have this announcement here that the CHIPS Act team here, which is, of course, run by Joe Biden, they're preparing to hand off their program, which is valued at $52 billion to Trump. So that is apparently, I guess, viewed as a little bit bearish for Intel, but a bit bullish for Micron. It just seems like there's volume coming into these names. Doesn't really seem like super directional, so just be aware here. A little bit of volume and volatility in some of these CHIPS Acts related stocks as we have news that the Biden team will be handing it over to Trump. Apparently, the leader of the CHIPS Act said that their effort is hugely successful. Not really sure why this is moving these stocks, but just worth noting we do have this headline and some volume here, guys. Back to you.
I appreciate that, Adira. What do you got, Joseph?
Yeah, here, if we pull up my screen here, guys, thank you, Mitchell Rosas, for reminding me here. We got it documented as well. And I want to make sure you guys see that we're putting in the right data in, too, and not manipulating it here. So our stop loss is going to be at 597.69, and our target is going to be at 560.69 there, guys. Oops, 560. I'm loving it. Okay, anyways, let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, We were talking about Frosty. The chat was going crazy about that the other day. They're like,
Bro, that got me
Frosty.
hungry.
Yeah, okay. As I'm writing this in, I just type in the chat, guys, Frosty or Blizzard. That's it. And we want to know which one is more dominant, because I am a Blizzard guy. I know you said you like the Frosty.
Oreo, baby.
The Oreo, yeah. No, you got to go with the Blizzard, man. A score, Reese's Pieces. Come on. That's my jam right there. So there we are, guys.
Joseph.
Yeah, we're in on that. Let us know. Blizzard or Flurry. And guys, let's continue to talk about the market. Let's go over the top volume stocks. NVIDIA, as usual, at the top of its class with 120 million shares traded on the session. Yeah, that's it, exactly. A light 120 million. INTC with 1 and 11 there with that new M&A news. Tesla with 55 million. Like, look at the difference there, man. It's like almost half the amount. So Mara with 54.7, but we got, one of my Jamaican friends here, Joe, BTCT, my entry at 572. Sharif already went over, but still sending super chat. Yard fan thing, yeah, respect. Been here since Pratt and Miss V.
No way.
Yeah, appreciate that, Money Talks. And thank you very much for the $5 super chat. So yeah, looking forward to that. Entry is $5.72. Let me pull it up real quick here for you on BTCT. I don't even know, what's it trading at roughly about? We'll find out in a brief second. CT. Oh, okay. Oh, it's nice. Okay, so you're printing those American dollars. Yeah.
I'm in it right now, baby.
You're in it? Oh,
I'm
okay.
in it right now.
You're in a face lab, but you're printing large on that. Yeah. So is Money Talks. So shout out to you. Big you up on that one. So nice looks there, Money Talks. It's all good, and I'm glad that you have been here and joined the channel for a long time, it seems to be.
Shout out, man.
Yeah, shout out.
All right, so I took the break of the top end of the range. So this is, I perceive this to be a bull flag, right, with that 630 area beginning the pull, the 740 area being the kind of consolidative part of the flag. I punched in there. It's a much bigger position than I typically take at all on the show, and if you've been watching the show, I don't typically take big positions. So we scalped up here all the way up into 775. We're long at 739. It's at 760 right now. I'm waiting at 82s and 88s. It's having trouble with $0.75. Now, this doesn't breach my rules. Why? Because we took out that 743 pre-market high that we put in at 825. So it's above VWAP. It's above the pre-market high. It's got everything that I always say I look for with these small cap gappers. And the tape is teleporting now. Look at the movement on the time and sales. 70, here we go. I'm waiting at 82s. It just showed me 80s. It rejected. I'm waiting again. Let's see if we can get that 82 print. This is really moving now. BTCT is the one that I'm talking about, guys. Up 60%. Can't break that 80. Coming back down now. If anything below 730 and I'm out, I have to give it 10 pennies. You can't just trade this 60% name and then not give it any room. So anything below this area here, I'm gone. I'm waiting for, I'd like it to hold, obviously. Now, if it breaches my 730 area stop and it comes back into 7 and it holds, I'll get back in. Reason is, 7 is the 10 exponential, as well as obviously that psychological area of possible support. Coming back into 740 now. So really disappointed I didn't get the print there. It looks like it got up to 777s. Yeah, 777s, not the airplane, but the level, baby. 777 HOD on BTCT, back into that $0.50. Okay. So not breaching, not quite yet. We're not out of the woods though, baby. So we're gonna keep an eye out on this one. I've layered my orders. I have 9 outs on this left. So there's plenty of outs that we can take if this one keeps going, and assuming I don't take out too much at one level. So I'm keeping an eye here on BTCT, worried that the best move is behind it, looking for that continuity through 777s, would just love an $8 breach. Rivian, we're back in the money on that? Barely. I'm not pleased with this trade at all. I gotta tell you, I think I may have gotten this one wrong. The Katina man had it at a much better time and at a better price. Softy is at the high of the dang day. Here we go. 432 is coming in for Softy. So now I'm gonna set my beak wetter at 432.15 because I said I'd take it out at the volume weighted average price, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we're putting a sell order here on Softy for that 432.15. BTCT likely going to break. Here it is. Here comes 7:30. Dang it. What do you got?
Yo, dude, look at this market. Sorry, this market is just continuing to roar, man. The SPY making a new high, the Q's running into a new high, Tesla new high, Google going for that pre-market high. You could just throw a dart at a board and almost select a stock that's continuing to trade higher. So, yeah, really good luck on the session. These Fridays are nothing short of exuberant. So yeah, man, it's a lot of fun and enjoy spending it with you guys. And a lot of people in the chat have mentioned it as well too. So hopefully everybody's having a solid day. And if you're not, then that's okay. There'll be tomorrow or Tuesday. That is, there will be nothing on Monday. So be prepared for that. Just take a nice relaxing weekend. Sit this one out. Come back Saturday, get that technical analysis rolling, come up with some game plans, do some charting, and then prepare yourself for the Tuesday session to open, guys. But let's take a look at Google. Here we are in the SPY. This is our SPY trade right where we entered here. So we need 669 in order for us to take this off. We documented it on the Playmaker poll there. So let's see if that thesis plays out today. Let's take a look at Google real quick as well too, folks, and see what we got going on. Here we are continuing to climb higher. Sorry, I got a dark pool wick that I will sort out momentarily, but beautiful trending. I'm curious if there's any news on Google because we are starting to run into some.
Adara said nothing other than the TikTok ban, which Google gets lumped into because more people might use YouTube Shorts for posting short form video content.
There you go. And Katina Man's in a face slapper right now. He's in at 194, is it, or 192? Okay. 194 Katina Man's in, so almost $3 in the money. That's we'll give him 3 bangs on that one, and $3 club there. So really nice look there on Google from Katina Man. So yeah, just a really, really strong market, guys. I want to take a look at SOXL for a moment as well to see what we got going on. So a really strong consolidation phase here, guys. And we mentioned SOXL just being a vehicle that you want to use from an intraday perspective. It's not necessarily an investment vehicle, so just keep that in mind. Not something you want to own for the long term. And yeah, I think shout out to the boys for teaching me that. But here, this is more of a prime example of the price action that you want to see when you're constructing an iron condor, is that sideways price action, not necessarily that it's something that has a direction. Okay, so this is more or less picture perfect on and underlying that you would want to set up an iron condor, but don't forget this is a leveraged derivative 3x, so you would be trading a derivative of a derivative. I'm only using this price action as an example of something that you would want to look for in an iron condor, because that's where you would execute your short contracts south of the support and north of the resistance for those trades. All right, so keep that in mind, guys. That's the type of price action you're looking for, and the market is just continuing to trade higher. Google is absolutely ripping, and so is Tesla. I think 440 is in the looks here for Elon and company. Jeez. Is that how much are you in the,
Someone's $3 in the money. I'll give you one guess. George Washington looks good with those glasses, bro. That's
yeah.
He's
see him in the club.
I wonder. Can you imagine George Washington?
Washington.
My goodness. Yeah, we don't learn too much about U.S. history. I took U.S. history in university. I took one class. It was a second-year class. That's really the only reason I know, like, about the Tet Offensive and all, like, the Vietnam stuff. They teach you all that stuff, but you don't teach you much of that at all in Canadian schools. Well, not that I was at anyway. Maybe other ones. Yeah. And when my niece and nephew moved to the States, they moved pretty old. Like, my nephew was grade 9, 9th grade, and my niece was 7th grade. And they hadn't learned any American history. They hadn't learned anything specific to America. They had to pick up all that stuff later, kind of in their childhood. So,
yeah.
Interesting look.
It's funny. When I used to go to hockey tournaments in the States, we were young, obviously in our teens, and we would tell the other teams, like the American teams, we're like, yeah, man, like, we got to go back home to our igloos and all this stuff. And they
think that. It's so funny, bro.
Yeah, so,
it's like, all right, whatever, it's okay.
That's how we told them we skate to school. That's why we're all so good at hockey, because we're skating to school,
Yeah, man, we don't live in igloos. We don't.
No.
Well, not people in Ontario anyway. Maybe in Nunavut, Northwest Territories, the Yukon, I don't know. Wherever you guys want to go there.
Too mild up here now.
No, bro. Yeah, exactly.
mild.
All right, guys, we're still involved in BTCT. Here comes another attempt right now. There does seem to be selling in the high 70s, though. It's looking bull flaggish, but that can change, right? With the initiation of the bull flag right at that $7 area, we go all the way up into about 780. We'll see if we can get a second bull flag. I perceive this one to be the second bull flag. Sorry, so we'll see if we get a third bull flag is what I'm trying to say here. We'll see if we can get that. I'm waiting at 82s, then 88s, but right now it doesn't seem as forthcoming. But it did defend 40s, and you like that. And I'll tell you why you like that, because we were rejecting 40s, and now we're using 40s, at least locally, as a level of support. So it's that flip from resistance to support type gig, and that helps make it a bit more predictable. It's not a hard and fast rule, nor is it going to hold forever and ever more, but at least intraday, we can base some trades off it. Jam Locky. BTC was supposedly I'm assuming you meant supposedly created to transact away from government. Now government is involved in it. Dude, you're saying exactly what Elon said, Elon in the chat, which I agreed with. I just don't think it keeps out institutional investors. So if you were kind of like, you wanted to be on the outside of things and not be in the mainstream, you bought Bitcoin. You didn't want to buy, treasury bonds or whatever the mainstream does. But I don't think that matters as much anymore once bigger money comes in that could actually move the market substantially. But I completely get your point. I think that may upset some of the originalists, if you want to call them that, who like it for its decentralized nature and the fact that it's not mainstream. But does that keep the price down? Does that prevent the price from ascending? In my humble submission, no. No, I just don't think it does. But I see your point. Ike release.
It can hinder the volatility. We talked about this before. It can hinder the volatility, though, because of the ability to kind of hedge with futures and options now.
Explain.
Yeah. So, well, you can protect your downside, so there's not going to be as much volatility, right?
With bigger money involved.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But does it make it go down?
No. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Ike release. Don't feel bad. Americans don't learn that much about U.S. history either. Oh boy, that's not a glowing endorsement of the education system, is it? I think the metric system, I think it overwhelmed some Americans.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's just like they can't handle it.
No.
Jimmy Carter tried to throw it in the 70s, and they're like, no, we're not gonna do it.
Yeah, well,
that's just okay.
Metrics.
Yeah. Let's see what else everybody's talking about over here. I like your accents, says Isa Mobdici. Sorry if I butchered your name, but I don't know, I don't really feel that I have much of a Canadian accent, except when I say A. What's going on over there, Katina Man? The Katina Man's $2 in the money on Palantir, baby. So he's taking profits there. He's running off with the money. Katina Man, where's that one where you run off with the barrel of money?
Yeah, bro,
there it is. There it is.
Well, we don't think we have an accent because we talk to each other from a day-to-day basis.
No, but I visit my sister every year.
Yeah.
And every year I go down there, I get the same thing. You talk like us, except when you say certain words, like a and a boot.
That's deep west. That's like deep west.
Yeah, that's not. It's not Ontario at all. It's not Toronto at all, baby.
At all.
All right, let's see what the soft one is doing. We're really close to that print on the soft one. I've been waiting at 15s. We're showing 11s now. That's it. I'm going to take it out here. I don't have to wait for 15. So the volume weighted average price comes into Microsoft. It's up 1 3/4. I'm happy with this trade. We're done this trade, though, on the softie. Good look here through VWAP. Watch out, though. I mean, we could encounter resistance here. Who knows? That is where VWAP is. But the market looks destined to take out that 21,682 HOD that we printed at 9:25 Eastern this morning. We are at 6.8s, 6.9s right now. 8.2s is HOD. Let's flip back over here to BTCT, and we got stopped out for the remaining amount. Kind of disappointed there. It had trouble with 760. So, well, we won't take an L at all on that. It's a good winner there. But here's the deal. We talked about $7. We talked about $7 and the 10 exponential. And here it is, $7 coming in. We're at the 10 exponential right now, or a couple of pennies above it. If we bounce off here and I get bottom wick on my out, it's going to ruin my weekend. It's not. But I can exaggerate for effect. Mm-hmm. So here we go. It's breaking down now into 7 1/4. Let's see if this one wants to come down into 7. So good look there. There's also another price action area top that I could be persuaded to get into if 7 doesn't hold. And that's this area crest over here, right at 1120. That's 658, which also happens to overlap, at least closely, with VWAP. VWAP on my chart right now, 654, the high there, 659. So if 7 gives way, and it looks like it might, definitely that would be the first area I'd be looking for. How's that crap Rivian trade doing? Let's have a look. Oh, for God's sake. Came back down again.
Yeah.
So it's another lower high here on Rivian. So it's a symphony of lower highs. Initially, we get that 1468 area crest, and now we got a 1462 area crest. So it's lower highs over here with lower lows. How much are we? We're 7 pennies out of the money. If it stops me out below 1440, that's where I'll get it out. I won't take it out before that, because if it ends up moving up and I'm not involved in it, it's going to really upset me. So we're going to let that one cook. Joseph, what do you got?
Hey, good look there, my guy. So yeah, let's take a look at this. So as Sharif was explaining some things, keeping my eye on Google, because it felt like we were slightly squeezy. But now you guys know what I'm going to point out. I emphasize on this day by day. Isolated volume signature, indecision doji candle, whatever you want to call it, inverted hammer, shooting star at an extreme high. So what I did is I exited the last part of my Google trade here and then flipped it. So that's my last out right here, guys, right where that T is, that crosshairs, and then that's me going short. So absolutely beautiful trade, almost catching the bottom of this here and riding that whole move to the top. Now flipping bias to the downside, looking for a possible run into 196.15. That's the next target here. So I really like these signals. I mention them from time and time again. We see them multiple times throughout the day. Well, maybe not every day, but when they do show up, they're extremely powerful. Guys, I really hope you're paying attention to the volume price analysis and how these prints display on the charts and how you can utilize them and take advantage of them. This pullback may not be deep. If we break the high wick of this candle, thesis invalid. Maybe it needs to do a little bit more squeeze, grab some more liquidity, and then possibly pull back, or it could just be a totally false signal. But one thing that we have is we have the indecision candle print, right, on the 5-minute, and then that isolated volume signature on the 5-minute. Those are two highly level, as Obi would like to say, that give you enough confluence within the setup to start to trade it and then put in some size and see if you get the move that you're looking for. VWAP being the primary target, but let's hit target 1 first. That being around 196.24. If it breaches 196.24, see how this was prior resistance. Now, if this acts as support, you might get that bounce. But the target is 195.50. So there we go. I know, too simple. It's not up on the screen. We're gonna get that sorted out. Don't worry. I'm working on it. Could you explain options pinning with stocks price on the 3rd-week expiration? I have no idea what that means, to be honest with you. I don't know what options pinning is with stock price, options pinning with stock price on the 3rd-week expiration. Yeah, I have no clue what that means. Edwin P., you're going to have to kind of elaborate more on that. Learn something new every day, so maybe I'll take a look into that over the weekend as well, too. So, but here we go, guys. Slowly starting to pull back. Good look here on the turnaround on Google. Apple kind of being the bearer of bad news today, raining on the parade. You're not appreciating with the overall market. If Apple was to participate in this move, then this market would absolutely be skyrocketing, and then we'd only be about 1% or 2 off of the all-time highs on the Qs and the SPY. So let's take a look at SPY actually from a daily perspective and see how far we are off those all-time highs. Because we do, yeah, we're just not too far off of hitting that target for the playmaker as well too, Sharif, but I don't think we're going to get it now as the market continues to pull back. So we're only about 1.5% off those all-time highs on the SPY. Rolling into earnings season, I think the momentum and the strength, the fundamentals supporting a lot of these moves, I think we continue to appreciate, and it's only a matter of time until the market hits yet another all-time high on the year. But here we go, Sharif. Google starting to dump. Really nice, beautiful signal mentioned, as I just mentioned. I love that exhaustive volume, indecision print at an extreme high, and here we go. The pullback is now starting to immense.
Did a quick chat GPT inquiry there about what options pinning is.
Yeah.
So here's the definition. Obviously, I had no idea either.
Yeah.
Options pinning, also known as pinning the strike, refers to the phenomenon where the price of an underlying asset gravitates towards a particular strike price as option expirations approach. Sateo was talking about this before. This often occurs on or near options expiration day. I think you talked about this before, bro. This was your call.
Yesterday I was talking, but I didn't know it actually had a legit term.
There you go.
Pinning, yeah.
We all learned something new. This often occurs on or near options expiration day when the market forces the trader behavior to create conditions that pull the asset's price closer to a heavily traded strike price. That's really
so
interesting.
that's when I was referring to those whole and half dollars and how you can see the larger levels of open interest around those specific strike prices, opposed to like 277.50 or something like that, right? You go to 275. You see that whole and half dollar, 270, 280, and etc. So
interesting.
Yeah. There you go. You learn something new every day.
Every day, baby.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it. And thank you guys for the contributions within the community. Did you see the DM I sent you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
man.
you
that was
know what
right
I mean.
there, man.
Exactly.
I liked it back.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, good one there, guys. And Sharif mentioned it. I mentioned it. Guys, just you guys contributing to the chat and chiming in it's fun. We get to have a conversation with you guys and see so many different points of view.
Absolutely, and I think basically taking the opportunity during the midday when things are a little bit more calm to kind of engage in that more dialogue is something a lot of people like. All right, guys, I'm keeping an eye on Futu. This was an L for me earlier today. I had a couple of good outs on it, but I ended up going red on FUTU. Now it's at an interesting area, and now it's at VWAP. And when it was at VWAP before, namely right at 1035, this area right here, it held. I'm not going to be first to the party this time, so it's got to prove to me that it's going to hold VWAP. I can get in on the second candle or the third candle, whichever candle makes a new high on a closing basis. So it's at the price that I see is VWAP right now. That's at around 86.80. I'll keep my eye on that one. It's up 8%. Good look for Futu. BTCT as well, holding up real well over here. Where is it? There it is. So we got pushed out of this, sadly, not bottom wick, but close to. But it comes into that 10 exponential and it holds up. That's the good side. The bad side is we're still putting in lower highs. We haven't changed that trend. Every successive candle lower than its predecessor, wick, close, or otherwise. There's no otherwise. It's either wick or close. But the point is, we're still putting in lower highs, but we are finding support at the 10 exponential moving average on the 5, which will always be that solid green line on my chart. I'll take the opportunity, since we have a lot of new subs lately, to tell you guys on my chart, green is 10 exponential. This is always going to be the case. Yellow is 20, white is VWAP, the red is the 50, and they're all exponential, not simple. And then the navy blue down here, that's a 200. I don't typically use the 200 on an intraday basis, but it's nice for the daily, the 4-hour, the weekly, et cetera, et cetera. So keeping my eye on BTCT, as I think still presents some opportunities here, seeing that it's above the volume weighted average price. It's holding the 10 exponential, but it still needs a directed trend change, and that direction is to the high side with higher highs and higher lows rather than the lower lows and lower highs we've been putting in lately. So here we go, back into that 7.5 it goes, and now it's got a higher high, baby, than the previous candle. So good look right now on BTCT, running up big on the back of the, let's call it, the Bitcoin, I don't want to call it the tailwind, but Bitcoin is obviously up big on the day, and BTCT is a miner, so it's benefiting from that. Now, Joseph and I, we should probably tell you that these miners, they trade a little bit differently than some of the spot ETFs, obviously the coins. Their business is a little bit different. They suffer the affliction of the halving events. The halving events, if you're new to trading and new to Bitcoin, essentially it's every 4 years?
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years, the amount of effort expended to secure one Bitcoin by allowing obviously your computer to solve mathematical calculations and the like is cut in half, right? In half, yeah. So you literally have to do double the amount of work in order to secure the same Bitcoin. So obviously double the amount of work means more computers, more energy expended, costs go up. So their profitability goes down from their side. So trading the miners is by no means a pure play into Bitcoin. Now, but it can be lucrative, though, at times, especially if these guys catch a tailwind that's maybe not specific to the coin itself.
Exactly. Well, we know that Mara can get a little memey at times as well, too. So people like enjoying it, trading it from that standpoint as a kind of a meme vehicle, like MSTR, Tesla. It gets that little bit of a meme craze. But yeah, Sharif's point, well taken, is that, and I mentioned this from time and time again as well too, it's just the cost of energy is so expensive to run these mining rigs that I told Jaspreet the other day, there has to be something within the fundamentals. He mentioned a couple other Bitcoin miners that were trading so much better than Mara, but again, Mara having one of the holding the most next to MSTR, I did with Adara's infographic, one of the largest publicly traded companies that hold Bitcoin, but yet the stock price is nothing short of a head scratcher. So yeah, again, Jaspreet, I don't know if you dug into the fundamentals on that, but I think it's somewhere, I think it's at that point where you have to see what's going on with it, considering you have Hut, Riot, and some of these other miners continuing to somewhat trade in an orderly fashion, when Mara is just essentially sideways movement and not the best investment vehicle, okay? And it's funny, I was looking to do a play on Bitcoin as well too, and it was a while ago. Mara was trading around like $12, $13 or something along those lines, and I'm like, I think that these guys would be a great play by the miners if they're continuing to mine Bitcoin. But then I did a little more due diligence and kept reading. I realized that it's really cost effective, ineffective, sorry. And don't forget, Marathon Digital is based in Florida. So the energy cost there, you got, right, to keep those computers cool is probably astronomical, okay? So just keep that in mind too. And one thing, just to go a little off track, is that the next potential Prime Minister of Canada, he's saying Canada only has about like 23 or 24 data centers or something along those lines, but we have the cool temperature, and he wants to start building more data centers too, because we don't have to use as much energy to keep these computers as cool as they need to be, right? If you have a cooler environment, then you can have more data centers, right? Because you're less expenditure on energy, okay? So yeah, that's a good look. Yeah, and someone said, Miss Luca, 559 likes. What is that? Come on, guys, get those likes. Yeah, get
this guy's coming at the chat. I like
but Miss Luca pointed it out. Like that's
Miss Luca.
Yeah, Miss Lucia. Sorry, Miss Lucia. Yeah, Miss Lucia said 559 likes. Triple question mark. That's rude. Yes, it is rude. Hit the like and hit the subscribe, please. Especially if you enjoy the conversation. Yeah, there we go.
Get him, Neil.
Yeah, get him, Neil. Especially if you guys like the conversations that we have and want us to continue with them. So no, it's nothing wrong. Just a click of the button, and it does the channel a huge favor, and it makes us realize that you guys enjoy what we're talking about as well too. Dude, we were like 20 cents off of hitting our 2-to-1 profit target on the SPY, and now pulling back a little bit here. But guys, we got to pay some bills with Sharif.
If you guys are ready to trade smarter, not harder, then it is time for you to upgrade to that elite trading experience. It'll help you analyze, strategize, and capitalize by foreseeing profitable opportunities with the platform that meets all you need. You got a bunch of stuff: infinite data, instant trading. You get to know where the market is moving before others with that lightning fast data and execution. A lot of people also praise their charts. Some would say they have charts that change the game by helping you customize and analyze the markets faster and in your specific way. And we all know a sound trading strategy requires good backtesting, and that's what you get here. You get better backtesting, you get better scanning, you can predict the future by understanding the past. It's got reliable real-time data up to the second market information from hundreds of global market sources, everything you need all in one place. Do not miss a beat. Execute your best trades now, if and only if you're ready to elevate your trading. Scan the QR code check out the link in the description of this video. Shout out to the fantastic folks there at eSignal, one of the more elite trading platforms. Obviously, data as well. They give you news. They got a bunch of stuff. Hey. Excellent platform.
They got it together.
They got it together. Yeah, clearly they do. We got money here. There we go. DJ Marshall dropping 30 quick as you like in the chat. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you very much for the super chat. Reads as follows. Wing stop on me.
Yeah, that's like out of all places, that is crazy. Let's go.
Been a great day. Bought 10. This is your thing here because the options, and I don't know how to read it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got.
What is this, 10?
Okay, he bought 10 January 21st.
Okay, got it.
600 SPY calls at $1.45. Sold 9. My 20% target price is 174. Holding on to the last one. Stop loss at break even. Future pull 600 short on SPY or nah. Well, first of all, thank you for the $30 super chat. Much appreciated. We have Wingstop here now, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually close by.
Okay. Hey, there we go. So,
and I don't think earmarked for it. They'll get us Wingstop. So
they'll get it. There we go. So
if it's earmarked for it, they will. Get Tina
Wednesday. So we're getting the Wingstop.
Yeah.
But hey, we thank you for the $30 super chat. But unfortunately, $30 worth of Wingstop may not be able to feed your boy and I with the protein. Yeah, because I don't know about you. I'm like a 2 pound, 2.5 pound guy.
I eat 2 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. When it comes to the wings, easily with about a half a pound of ranch. So there we go. Much appreciated.
Neil's getting queasy over there. He doesn't want any.
Like obviously I'm exaggerating obviously, but it's quite a bit of ranch sauce there. I know we got another super chat here, Sharif, and we'll send it back. Hey guys, how important is it to eat breakfast before trading? Do all of you eat before trading?
Okay, yeah. That's really
You can chime in on this one.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna get back to it, but we have to send it to Adair at the big desk, but I promise you, Sam, I'll respond as soon as we get back.
Yeah, I mean, for the record, always make sure to eat, they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But though for myself personally, I find being tired while trading impacts me more than being hungry while trading. Figure it out, be comfortable, that's my response. But either way, I'm really excited to show you guys this new graphic from TTV Research. I have a feeling you might like this one, Sharif, because it does star your friend Elon Musk. So what I wanted to do was take a look here at some of the net worth increases for Musk, Bezos, and Zuckerberg over the last 10 years. And through a lot of research, mostly using the Forbes billionaires list, I have found this data. It's pretty interesting here. There was a while where Mark Zuckerberg's wealth would pretty much fluctuate, but then in 2024, as of the start of 2024, all three of them really had this exponential growth here in net worth, surging pretty significantly. Elon Musk also had a pretty notable surge from 2020 to 2021, going from 27 billion to 150 billion. So it's pretty significant here. Take a look at this chart. It's available on X at TTV Research. I had a lot of fun making this one, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adair. That's excellent, man. Great look there, Adair. Appreciate that. Clearly.
On those, man.
Guys, here's the deal. I want to answer this. Sam A, it's not just about breakfast, brother. To me, it's just so much more than that. It's about the right sleep. It's about having your routine. I'm a really routine person. If my routine is thrown off in the morning, I need to get my head right with either a walk or something. So I like to make sure my day goes in the way that helps me be the most mentally fit that I can be. Most days, I'll do a quick body weight calisthenic sesh in my condo for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half an hour, right when I get up. And then, I'm continuing on with my routine after that. And then if I don't have breakfast at 9:30, I will have a headache, right? And then clearly I won't be able to trade. So,
by what time you say, 9:30?
9:30, baby.
Yeah, that was the first thing you said to me.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't, right? No, seriously though, to build on the point, you clearly definitely need your calories in order to function. Your brain, your central nervous system runs on carbohydrates, polysaccharides, monosaccharides, disaccharides, all the saccharides, baby. Get it, Neil?
Yeah, but very interesting. No, but to add on to that, lately I have been eating some fruit in the morning, but for the majority of the time, Sharif, and I think maybe you can attest to that, I usually don't eat until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but that's just my body type, and fasting for the first half of the session was just something that I did. Now, the past couple weeks, I've been up earlier in the morning. I have things to do in the morning before coming to the office, so I'm slightly more hungry because usually around that 2 or 3 hour time after me being awake, I start to get hungry. So I have been eating a little bit of fruit in the morning, but I think the most important thing is sleep, as Sharif mentioned. Sleep and being well rested.
Bang.
Yeah, sleep and being well rested. You don't want to be tired or exhausted to the point where you feel the fatigue in your brain and you can't think straight. So yeah, that is Something. What is going on back there?
Bro,
Having
it's
fun.
like you say sleep and Adara lets off like
Oh,
two
she's like,
monster yawns.
yeah,
Like,
did she?
get it, Adara, what is going on up there?
There you go.
I like it. No, it's just, it was so apropos. You're talking about getting good sleep. She's launching
thing.
yawns up there. So, yeah, it's fine. All right, guys.
Ram, what do you mean, hell yeah?
What's she doing now, bro? Yeah, she's an instigator, though. You have to be careful with Ram, man.
Yeah.
She'll walk all over you to get her way, man. Trust me. Be careful with her, bro. Oh, Ram, stay back. Stay back, Ram.
What are you doing? What do you got for me?
Scott Tomlinson.
I know why you said hell
Do
yeah.
either of you guys work out in the morning or afternoon? I think successful people work out. I'm in some capacity. I work out twice a day, my man. Most days, like about 6 or 7 days. 5 or 6 days out of 7, I will do double sessions. One will be a very quick session in the morning, right when I get up. I literally don't eat or do anything. I put on my gym clothes and I do calisthenics in my condo. And that will be most days. And then I'll get in a sesh. After I leave here, I'll go directly to the gym. That'll be the larger strength training session. That'll last about an hour and a half or so. I can't speak for Joe. That is my routine.
Whoa. What do you mean can't?
No, like I'm not talking about your. I know you're obviously fresh, bro.
Come on, man.
That's not the point. The point is I don't know what your routine is.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I'm only playing with you.
Yeah. So Scott, I think it definitely does the mind. It does the mind a lot of good. I know Neil works out. He's got his set up in the basement. Brendo's always at the gym super early. The Katina man gets in his sesh during the midday. He weasels on over to the YMCA. He gets some weights. He gets some swimming. So all of us in one capacity or another. I know Adara double sessions, one upper body then lower body on the day. So we're all doing it some way or another. What's your situation?
No, I think I agree. And I don't know if it's necessarily the working out that successful people have. It's the consistency in the routine, right?
Absolutely
So whether it be reading every day or whatever it is, it's the consistency in your routine. Whatever, again, if you don't want it to be something negative, but if it has something positive, and then that every day you get 0.5%, 1% better, I think it's the consistency in that. So it's like, okay, today we'll use an example, I did 10 push-ups, tomorrow I want to do 11. Right? And then just always continuously trying to get better and better. But as for the successful people, I think it's just the consistency in their craft. Okay, so whatever your craft may be, try to be as consistent. Not every day. And how the saying goes. I can't believe it just blanked my mind. But it's I'm not even gonna go anymore. I forgot it. Yeah, so. I'll think of it in a second when it comes to me, but forever, that's what it is.
Here, interesting,
I forgot what I was about
I gotta
to say.
interrupt this because this is interesting. So, due to the extremely cold weather, Donald Trump's inauguration will be held indoors.
Oh.
The last indoor inauguration address was Ronald Reagan back in 1985 after his re-election. Which is interesting here because I was telling you off camera that there was a movement for people Donald Trump detractors and people who don't like him wanted to get as many tickets as they can to the inauguration and not show up so that there could be a bunch of empty seats. I saw a TikTok video to that effect that was going viral. It had like several 100,000
You had to pay for the tickets?
No, they were getting them.
Oh, they're free tickets? And you go,
But you're getting, I guess, through a connection or a hookup or whatever the situation is. And so I guess maybe, I don't know, this obviously puts a bit of a kibosh on that situation there because, well, it's going to be indoors. Obviously not market moving, but we're just chiming in, talking some stuff.
Dude, I can't believe I forgot
Adara
the
said
quote.
he has said he is still going to be speaking outside at the Rotunda. I haven't said Rotunda in several years.
Rotunda? Mm-hmm. What is that?
Like the Neil's like nobody said it. Yeah. It's like the entrance of a big building, or I don't know. That's what I'm assuming Rotunda is.
Two new terms I learned today: Rotunda and pinning.
Pinning. Oh yeah,
the options pinning.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right, Futu. It got a bounce off VWAP, and I'm not involved. That's a mistake. So VWAP 86.80 It just popped into 87 1/3. That is a miss by me. It was an obvious setup. It did it before at 10:35, and then we had to move back again at 1:35, both of which I missed. That's frustrating because I called it out. I just didn't take it. Sad about that. I'm involved in BTCT. It looks like it's going to stop me out here. Involved small shares here just to get the foot or the beak wet on some profits, but it does look like it's going to break that 730 area. That's where I've got my stop. Havana Woody, I suspect that the move indoors is a security matter, not weather. Well said, my friend. That could be the case. Drops trades. Have you ever looked at SPIR? I have not. Now I will. Let's have a look. I'm going to bring in the side chart. SPIR. What do we got here? Spire Global. Okay. Nice move. 6 1/5. Trading up the high of the day. 1768. Another high day. That just printed. What's the daily look like? Okay. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you. I remember the quote. Isn't it motivation doesn't last forever, but discipline can.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah, so
That's really interesting.
Right? I don't know if you ever heard that.
Think about no, I've never actually heard that.
Yeah, so you're not every day you're motivated, and not every day you want to go to the gym, but it's the discipline that gets you.
Oh God, no, I don't want to go every day.
There
There's so many days that I want.
And that's what I wanted to touch on is like, guys, some days you don't want to do TA, some days you don't want to prep for the week ahead, but again, that motivation may not always be there. It's the discipline that is going to continue to take you to the next level. And that's it. Continue, my friend. Oh, get it, Adara.
Yes, Joseph. Yes, Joseph. All right, here we go. 1768. This is a good-looking chart.
Bro, look, we got
She's
more.
doing her best stretch.
Dude, grab a few more wings. Another set of wings. Now we're getting up to the amount that we need here from the guys. Thank you guys so much.
Good look. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. We definitely appreciate you guys. SPIR, ugly-looking chart if you're looking at it from 2021 onwards, but lately it's a lot better of a looking chart. Like, I mean, look at this. This is a respectable trend line right there. It breaches that trend line, then reclaims it right quick. Extend your trend lines as long as they will go, guys, because you don't know when it will flip from resistance to support. Case in point, area trough. Look at this. Support, resistance, support. So good look, but obviously you're coming from way extended highs, but a lot of these names were really extended into the pandemic. When we printed that high September, it looks like September 2021. As of late, though, it's a much, much better looking chart. Looks like you're going to get into some resistance here, possibly at around 1950. That takes us back to March of last year when we topped out there. We're above all the resistance, the local resistance levels. So good look on your part. SPIR, what does this company do? Let's have a look. Spire Global. It's about a $500 million market cap, a little bit less. They are the provider of space-based data analytics and space services. They build, own, and operate a fully deployed satellite constellation that observes the Earth in real time using radio frequency technology. They're engaged in designing, manufacturing, and integrating and operating its own satellites and ground stations, which enable end-to-end control and ownership over the entire system. I don't know if it sounds very SpaceX-y or, Starlink-y or whatever, but it's a good-looking chart locally, and it had a big day yesterday. Monster day yesterday. What's the headline from yesterday? Was the 16th? I'm looking for the headline. I don't see the headline here. I don't know
what is going on here, dude. We're just building up a storm here. More Wings Fund. That's $50 for the Wings Fund. As long as you get the atomic ones, love the show. I don't even know.
We love you guys, bro. Man. I'm gonna have to stick around and eat these wings. I'm not gymming today, man. All right, guys. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you so much. SPR looks fantastic locally. Be careful with that 19.5, though, for whoever was asking. All right, we took out some here on BTCT at 760. Let's see if this holds up. It's zigging and zagging right now with no discernible trend. I appreciate you guys. Mateus Lane, baby. Man, shout out to dang Mateus Lane for the super chat and the Wing Fund. We'll call it the Wing Fund. Coming back down, no, is BTCT, so we get that quick wick. Right back into 750 we go after moving into 767. I was waiting. You know where I'm waiting. I was waiting at 69s. It didn't print, so we're going to pack our patience. Anything below that 730, we're going Zeno on that. Kirshner crew, check GME. Did the Catman meow? Let's find out. He meowed with a tweet or something. What the hell is GME doing?
Whoa.
Something happened. Here we go. Okay. So 27.02, that's the low of the day. And we're rocketing up right now on GameStop. We moved up $1.20 in about 15 minutes. And here we go. We're taking out the high of the day on GameStop. I don't see anything, guys, on GameStop. Adara is looking as we speak, 28.32. It keeps going. Breakout in progress right now on GameStop. Every time I look, it's a new high of the day. I have no idea why this is moving. As soon as we find out, we will let you know. GameStop, Joseph, up 2% after being negatory on the day about like 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, that's crazy. GameStop, Wingstop, same thing. There's full stop here for a second, guys. GME really buzzing. I'll pull it up for you guys in a second, but I just want to talk about the reversal here on Google. Mentioned this before, rode the whole trend to the top side, Sharif, and then flipped the bias to the downside. You can see that short there off of that indecision candle with that isolated volume signature. This can be classified as stopping volume. Now we're ready to turn around distribution phase here, guys, on Google. Sorry, but yeah, let's pull up some GME for the folks there because I know you guys want to talk about it and see what we got going on from a price action standpoint. So here we go. Someone's saying Unity in the chat as well too. I don't know how much U is moving.
Let me have a look.
So yeah, take a look at U. Is it moving?
Breaking out as well.
Unity's breaking out as well too, guys. Look at this volume, insanely starting to step in here on JME, crouching in on that $29 price target. Let's see what Adara has to say about it.
There's zero news that I can find here on GME. Lots of social media attention as per usual. Ramin was telling me she was seeing some people saying that Roaring Kitty has changed his profile pic. It looks exactly the same. Both his profile pic and his background picture, so it does not seem like that is actually happening. Either way, as per usual with GME moves, lots of discussions of Roaring Kitty, lots of discussions of Ryan Cohen, lots of discussions of breakouts. No actual news propelling this stock. If I see anything, I'll let you know. But it does just seem like this is continued squeeze action for GME. Back to you.
Appreciate that, Adara. Thank you so much.
El Sol says GameStop is a Wingstop sympathy play.
I like that.
Yeah,
they heard us talking about Wingstop.
There you go.
They punched long.
Bang, punch it. Sorry, continue, Mark.
Yeah, no, just got stopped out, guys, of BTCT. So we'll give some back here as this one does break down below the 10 exponential. I had to draw the line there somewhere. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one. There's not too much time left on the show, about 5 minutes. Let's load up GameStop on a trading screen and have a look at how that tape is moving and how the book is looking. Trades on the New York boys and girls. Here we go. 3 penny spread, tight spread. Here come the highs. There go the highs. Okay, now we're squeezing 66s HOD, I believe, 65s HOD. 3 1/5 green on the day. Let's see if this one keeps going over here. So I mentioned 65s. Check that. 70. Size at 70. Check that. 72. 74s. Okay, so we're squeezing nicely here on GameStop. Still have no idea why this is moving. Let's get involved, bro.
Let's get involved, he says.
Let's get involved, baby. We're gonna take small side. GameStop's breaking out, Katina, man. No idea why. Let's take out some looks over here. If this one wants to continue pamping, well, then we'll play the trend on this bad boy. Again, no idea why this is moving. It's gonna have to hold 28.5. I'm not gonna risk too much on this. Obviously, not give it that much room. Let's go ahead and throw the stop out there in case the bottom drops off on Guma. GameStop, Joseph, breaking out here 3.5%. Adara has possible news at the big desk. We shall see. Send it to Adara.
This is pretty interesting here. I'm seeing, thank you to Ramin for sending me these tweets because I wasn't seeing this. Apparently, this is a photo someone posted of a line outside of GameStop waiting here for this Pokemon Prismatic Evolutions drop. It's worth noting, though, this tweet is actually not new. It's from 10 p.m. last night. Then Wednesday afternoon, GameStop did announce here that they're going to be basically having this update with Prismatic Evolutions. Again, though, that's from Wednesday afternoon. So there's nothing really brand new to explain this news. At 12 p.m., GameStop had some deal announcement here for its Double Pro Week. But again, nothing here is brand new to explain this news. It looks like just a culmination of technical factors, as well as potentially excitement for this game set to be launched on Monday. Though again, even this photo was posted yesterday evening. I just want to make very clear, none of this is breaking news. Thank you very much, though, to Ramin for finding that information. Back to you.
Wow, the spread's really opening up now. It's trading crazy right now. It was a 1 penny spread. Now it's a 10 penny spread, and it's coming back down. I was able to take a couple of outs there through 77s, 79s, but it's coming back down. It's going to have to hold the $half odds, so I'm getting out. Here it is. Yeah, we got stopped out. So we'll take a bit of an L there. We have to participate, man. GameStop's moving. Everybody's getting excited, so we'll cancel those orders there. But this one could continue. I mean, it's still well above the 10 exponential. 28.30, that's where the 10 exponential is. A couple of bottoming tail candles right now into 28.5, but the spread's opening up. It's 10 pennies now on this. What's going on? The volume's increasing, the spread is opening up. Kind of bizarre a little bit there. Not really sure what's going on, but GameStop, guys, it feels like 2022 all over again. GameStop coming back in vogue. It broke down below that 30, though. I didn't even realize that it broke down below that 30. So good look for GameStop, Joseph, as we wind down the show, baby. 2 minutes left. Obviously, Monday, holiday.
Holiday, yeah, I didn't know. I didn't even remember that until
Martin Luther King Day, baby.
Yeah, Martin Luther King Day coming up on Monday. So the markets will be closed on that one, guys. So be sure to join us bright and early on Tuesday. The boys will be firing it up 8:30 a.m. sharp.
Oh, yeah.
Brando and Sharif at the big desk, and then Neil and Sean sitting there to the right of us, guys. So make sure you tune in, and then make sure you tune in for 11 a.m. as well, too, because you got myself and Sharif back on the midday, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying the conversation as much as we have, and it seems to be the case that you guys are, considering you're feeding us an immense amount of Wingstop now, which we are more than happy about and more than thrilled about, and more than anything, I know they got Southern hospitality, right? You go to down south, Southern hospitality. But up here, up north, we try to be polite. We say please and thank you, and very much appreciated. We hold doors, and for that, we hold doors for one another, and we be sure to be polite. So yeah, instilled in our DNA. So thank you very much, you guys, for those super chats and participating in the day-to-day conversations that Sharif and I have been having with you guys. Your inputs have been nothing short of amazing.
All right, we're taking some out here on GameStop at 78s. Let's set up at 82s, or sorry, 84s. Let's see if we can get some more out. Yeah, I took out half the position there, guys. I didn't take out the full position. Let's see if we can continue to run on GameStop. It's still zigging and zagging. I should have added on that dip into 50. I didn't, though. Yeah, that's it. All right, guys, it is time to send you to the big...
That time.
Yeah, I know. It's 2 o'clock. Time to send you the big kahunas, baby. Neil and Sean, they're going to take over. I'll see you guys at the green screen, but Joseph and I will be back Tuesday. Same bat time. Same bat channel.
Take it easy. Keep it green, everyone.
There it is. There it is. What a great midday show again, man. I sat here for the pretty much all of it. And it was a great little show there. So thanks, guys.
Wing time.